This podcast is part of the Deluxe Edition Network. To find other great shows on the network, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
Kindest sir, 'tis rumoured you fought in King Richard's crusade with my beloved son, Robbie. I fear you have returned home to desperate times, when dark forces plot against our absent king. I am anxious for word of my son. Were you present at his capture near Jerusalem? Do you know the name of the potentate who holds him? Does he still bear me ill will? A little news, please, sir. I would give all that I own for his release.
They've taken my Gwen, my daughter.
Who has taken her?
Men on horses, in masks. You! Oxley?
The king shall hear of this!
Join us.
Never.
Join us. Or die.
Azim the Great One! I am home! Woo!
Father?
Master Robin? Is that you?
Who did this to you, Duncan?
Guy and Guzman. The sheriff of this witch.
I will not rest until my father's avenged.
These years have left us many in need. While you and my brother were off playing boy heroes, Nottingham has plundered the Shire.
Who are you?
John Little.
When I killed the sheriff's men, came an outlaw like you.
You are nothing like us.
Your souls do not shed blood in the house of God!
Fool! You started a war! We're already at war.
And I say we strike back at the very man who takes our home.
Hey nerds, it's Sammy, and this is Barrel Age Chicks. Let's do this. Tonight on panel we have...
No, I'm fine.
Hey everybody, this is Yin. Time to turn your head and cough, because I'm about to check your facts.
And finally...
Hi, this is Crystal, and I make everything awkward.
Since it's all about you.
Welcome!
Wow, really? Thank you.
Another episode of Barrel Age Chicks.
That sucks.
That was so funny. And welcome, Ron,
Yes,
on our
Ron.
show.
What's up, guys?
It's the first time,
girls?
first
Sorry.
time you're guesting on
Yes,
us.
this is
Yes.
our second official guest, first time Ron on the shows.
Both on my hostings. I'm very excited.
Yes.
Very excited about this one.
Yeah, we are doing Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves came out June 14th, 1991. And we are going to start off with the drink, which I went ahead and got a honey cider mead. And for you, I got literally cider and honey.
Yay!
to
I'm a
mocktail.
hummingbird.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, I got to get you something. So,
Oh, it smells yummy.
all right. Well, I hope so.
Okay, now how do you review your drinks? Do you do the...
Middle fingers.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Smell it.
Yeah.
Oh, I have.
Oh, I've already smelled this. This is
Yeah. This
amazing.
is what we did
It's
on the...
fucking mead.
This,
You don't look pleased.
And you don't like honey?
oh, that's right.
Is it going to make you sick?
Oh, no.
It shouldn't, but also it just smells like a...
Honey.
No, it smells like those pear trees that smell like cat piss and cum.
What?
Wow. Okay.
I always thought that those smelled like dirty punani.
We need to
Thank
talk
you.
to Chase.
Hair? Chips?
Bradford pear,
No,
they're
Bradford
trees.
pears are
And
trees.
cum?
They
if you
smell like
ever,
cat piss, cum, like
if
any
you're
bad
ever
smell.
walking and it smells literally like dirty hoo-ha, it's a pear tree.
Oh, like
It's
Durin
stink-
fruit.
No, not like durian fruit, but
okay.
it just smells nasty.
No, when
Well,
you,
I don't think it smells nasty.
no,
Mine
it
definitely
smells,
does not.
It smells good, and I remember when you told me that you got me
this way,
this.
Snow. I walked in on my parents doing the nasty, and that's what it smells like. So yeah.
All right, so none
Enjoy.
of the cum that I've ever smelled like this. So
I've never had sex that smelled like
saying.
this.
I've only been with 2 humans and walked in on my parents. So
Well, I will say this. I was very
Definitely
excited
haven't
when
had
you
that
picked
experience.
mead for this movie
Yes.
because it's perfect for it, and mead is very, very fucking good.
Yeah, well, and then I kind of made a goof because I accidentally picked one that we had done on your show for the Northmen, like over a year ago. So it doesn't count, and it was a
I
different
don't
show.
even remember the review I gave, so this
No.
is going to
This
be
is
probably
a BAC original on this
Yes.
one. Yes.
and plus this is a different way because you do like 2 middle fingers,
Middle
just like
fingers.
2 thumbs up. So
Yeah. Yep. So we will see, and we got the girls trying it. So yeah, let's go.
All right.
All
Cheers.
right, cheers.
Salud.
And drinking it out of the lovely horn
Out of the
glasses.
Cool horns. Ooh.
that's good. That is good.
Oh, that's a bad response. That is a bad response.
Oh, come on.
Did you
Crystal?
drink it all in one go?
No. Nope, that was visceral.
It tastes great.
So, Crystal, how do you feel about it?
I actually think it kind of tastes like Fireball, so I'm not liking it at all.
thank you.
Oh.
Yeah, I taste cinnamon. And I'm
It
not
tastes
liking it.
ferment.
Cinnamon. I don't
I know.
taste any
Ferment.
ounce of cinnamon. It's,
no. What are you drinking?
Fermented honey, I think.
I think maybe Ragnar put cinnamon in my glass because I literally taste Fireball.
so you probably fucked
I
with your
think
glass.
he fucked with me.
Oh.
Shame on you.
Oh shit.
No,
Ragnar's
it
in
does.
trouble.
It doesn't. It doesn't taste good to me.
I don't
Hold on,
remember.
I'm gonna-
See, now I'm gonna have to listen to a review and see if you actually liked it last time. I don't remember if you did or not.
I think I did.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Maybe
I
it's
thought
just a bad batch.
I thought it was a clean sweep.
I don't like it.
I love it.
Do you?
Yeah. So what?
You like it? No. You don't like it? Yeah.
Wow.
See? No, I don't like it.
Ron's like chugging it.
Like maybe it's because I've
Are you
been
gonna?
drinking
You might
a
be
rum and
drinking
Coke
mead
all
for all
night.
the ladies.
Yeah.
You
I'll
hand
drink
me
the
your
rest of the
horn,
bottle.
I'll pour your chin.
Hand me your horn.
Yeah, you
that
can-
sounded dirty.
You can have the whole bottle.
I will definitely drink it. So I guess the reviews. I'm curious
All
to hear
right,
everybody's
well, all
reviews
right.
now.
You know what, Crystal? Kick us off with your review.
Oh yeah, -2 middle fingers.
Whoa, damn.
I think, yeah.
Fuck it. Completely fuck it. Burn it with oil.
Yeah.
That's 2 innies, in case anybody was checking. 2 innies.
Yes. Woo.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
A 0 from me.
A settle from Snow.
I wouldn't even give this to the sheriff.
No. Okay. 2 motherfucking middle fingers up. This is good.
The cheese stands alone.
It smells like a really bad
Ah,
cheese.
that's good.
All
That's
right.
really
Yeah.
You
good.
like it there, babe?
I don't like
Yes,
it.
I fucking
Is
love
it
it.
nummy?
It's like ferment.
Maybe.
It's good.
Maybe it's male versus
mead.
female taste buds.
There's
But I
be-
think I liked it when we
You
did the
did.
Northmen,
There's
which is why
better-
I'm really confused. I
Your
don't like
taste
it.
know
might
what?
have changed with
No.
all these other drinks you've been
No,
trying for the
you
show
know
now.
why? You weren't getting punished with Fireball as fucking much. And
I think I'm like scared of anything
well,
cinnamon.
I think that little bit of cinnamon, immediately you're like, nope.
And the thing is I know the glasses are clean, but it really does. All I taste is cinnamon, and it's really fucking with me.
See, the thing is
All
that
right,
there's
settle.
better meads out there. There's a whole lot better meads out there, but this one's decent. I actually do not mind this at all. This is really good. It tastes
All right.
great.
Yen, what about you?
Okay, I have questions.
I love you.
One, okay, was this mead mixed with a cider, or
No.
is it all just one thing?
Straight mead.
Okay. No. It's not. No, I don't know if it's because I've been drinking. Oh, hold on.
No, I was gonna. You keep going.
No.
Are you giving it innies or just flat?
So okay, for one, it was
only one?
it was like
on.
it was
Hold on.
warm.
Is meat supposed to be served cold or
Well,
chilled?
probably not. I mean,
I think
I'm
it's supposed to be warm.
I'm
or
sure
like
at
room
that
temperature.
Yeah.
time period, it was probably not like kept in a refrigerator.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was. Well, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've had a mead and a cider together before, and I think the cider has a little bit more of a tart punch.
Yeah.
That this one is kind of lacking.
Is it like
Maybe
sickeningly sweet?
it's no, it's got this. I don't know how to explain it except for just a blah feel. When you drink, it's like blah. So I don't even know what to give it. It's not going to be 2. It's not going to be 1. It's going to be like somewhere between a 0 and a 1. So let's give it a nubbin.
A nubbin?
Okay.
A nubbin.
I can appreciate that because I actually don't like it at all.
If I had my finger amputated,
the first knuckle,
but I had
up to the first knuckle,
almost up to the first knuckle, but not quite the first knuckle. That's what it would be.
That's a very stump nub. It's a stumpy nub.
It's a stumped
I
nub.
get half a knuckle.
It's a non-pleasuring nub.
Non-pleasure nub.
Yeah, I'm just going to say this.
That's a disappointing nub.
I'm disappointed. It was really good. I'm just so surprised that y'all don't like it. I'll have the rest. I'm
I already
shocked.
poured my shit into
I'm
his
in a
cup.
great mood, too, because Taco Bell sent me 3 extra cheesy gordita crunches.
You are just sitting high on the hog, Ron.
I didn't heard of those.
All right, so I got the mocktail version. What was in the mocktail there, Snow?
It's Martinelli's apple cider with honey.
That sounds delicious.
I'm actually curious how that tastes.
That's probably
Scrumdiddly options.
that is amazing.
Like, I will share. I'll
It's
will
okay.
happily
No,
share.
It's fine.
It is.
I don't know what my mouth has touched.
No,
so.
I'll pour it into something for you to try.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
Oh, good. Okay.
No, so the mocktail is scrumptious.
Fake meat is wonderful. The,
faux-
real meat is
the faux
gross.
mead. The feed is delicious.
I am so sorry.
I got meat all over my foot.
I'm sorry.
Start licking your own toes.
Oh, it smells. I was trying to pick it up. Aerated.
And now let's hear about another podcast from the Deluxe Edition Network.
Hey, this is Ron. Do you like movies?
Hey, this is Ragnar. Y'all like alcohol?
Hey guys, this is Stu. Do you like punishments?
Hey, this is Goot. Do you like cinephiles? Hey everybody, I'm Chase. Do you guys like alcohol poisoning?
If you like all of that, then check us out at Barrel Age Flicks. We're on Apple, Spotify, and all the other platforms out there.
And we're back. All right, we had a little technical difficulty. We are good. So
sorry.
It's all good yet. No worries.
It spielt.
I was just so excited to try the drink one more time, and it's just
now it's gone.
completely ruined.
You're lucky you're not on our show because that's an automatic punishment shot.
Yeah, well, we're not because this is Barrel Age Chicks.
And I appreciate.
And we're hot messes, and that's okay.
We are hot messes because we are.
We don't
moms.
blame bitches for being hot messes.
No,
I appreciate you guys not having me take a punishment shot for my mom calling earlier either.
Never, ever.
I was kind of expecting. As I was out there talking to my mom, I was like, "Oh, they're gonna make me take another punishment shot."
No,
a phone
family
call.
comes first above all things. So no, that's not how we roll.
Okay.
So I got the mocktail version.
Yeah,
and it is scrundily unctuous.
I bet that sounds so yummy.
Well, you tried it.
Oh no, it's
right there.
here.
Oh,
Sorry, I
try
haven't
it.
tried
Try
it
it.
yet.
Yeah, try it.
Oh wow.
Right?
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
And the Snow liked it too. Like it's yummy.
Yeah.
So I am going to give it 2 middle fingers for the mocktail. It is yummy. It is. I mean, here's the thing. I'm not gonna lie. When I did drink, I've never tried mead.
Yeah.
So
You've never had mead
I've
before you drink?
I had honey wine and I've had plum
kinda
wine.
close.
I've had plum
Honey
wine
wine's
and
close.
honey wine, but I've never had mead.
Okay.
Actually, the first time I bought it was for the Northman.
Yeah.
And same bottle.
And it's really funny because I do think I really enjoyed
did.
that one,
But
surprisingly. and then this
think
time
it's
I'm
'cause
like,
you've been
no.
Does it really
I think
taste
it's
like
'cause you've been-
cinnamon to you?
Yeah.
I think it's because you've been punished
Weird.
a lot since then, and
But your
now
drink
anything
tastes
with
like
cinnamon.
It did.
I think anything with a cinnamony is going to automatically be like, no, I'm
Yeah.
not a fan.
But what's funny is I didn't taste any hint of a cinnamon with
Really interesting. Well, because Crystal said that she did too. So I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know. It is. You know,
Maybe I
it's-
should have shaken the bottle really good first.
I mean, does mead settle?
I don't know.
I don't know if it has sediments. Or
I don't know.
anything.
I mean, wine does, and you got to turn the bottle. So maybe you have to.
So
do the
maybe
same
it's
thing
with
thing.
mead.
I don't know.
I don't know. We don't. Any of our listeners, if you have that answer, please let us know. We're curious. But yes, the faux mead is delicious.
Sweet.
And Crystal went off to fight the Crusades.
Yay.
So we love her.
Best of luck.
Best of luck. Go get them. And so she will not be here for the rest of this show, but that
Yes.
is okay. She loved the movie, and we were excited.
She just wanted to try the shitty mead.
Try the shitty mead and let us know that she loved the movie. That's okay. We are all about efficiency here at BEC.
No.
Snow, launch us into Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
All right. So like I said, this movie came out June 14th, 1991. Its budget was $48 million. and worldwide gross was over $380 million.
That's a fucking hit right there.
Oh, it's huge. It was the second highest grossing film of 1991. It came in right behind Terminator 2.
Wow.
So yeah, it was the highest grossing Robin Hood movie ever.
And I saw this shit in the theater.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It is directed by Kevin Reynolds. He also directed Count of Monte Cristo.
Great fucking movie.
Waterworld, Tristan and Isolde, and The Hatfields and McCoys, which was the miniseries with Kevin Costner.
Okay. I've heard really, really amazing
Another
things about
movie
that.
he did was Rapa Nui, which is actually a very good movie. It takes place on
we
Easter
saw
Island.
that. We saw that one. It is really good.
Yeah.
It is starring Kevin Costner as Robin of Locksley, Alan Rickman as the Sheriff of Nottingham, Morgan Freeman as Akeem. Azim. Why do I have it? I don't know. I have it written down wrong.
So you do the same thing I do.
No, my autocorrect is a bitch. Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio as Maid Marian.
Glad you said that.
Mm-hmm. This is why I'm hosting.
I know.
Christian Slater as Will Scarlett and Geraldine McGowan as Mortiana. It says Morris. I fucking hate my computer.
It's fine.
Mortia.
Mortiana got turned into Morris.
That is funny.
I'm surprised it didn't go
We're
Montana.
going to see how else this goes.
Montana makes more fucking sense.
I know. Michael McShane was for Tuck, and it is Michael.
It's Michael.
Why does it say Min Sharf?
Wait a minute. Who played the sheriff's cousin?
That's who I'm talking
Min
about.
Sharf.
Which is believe it or not,
Mincharf did.
he's to me, he's a very underrated actor. He's been.
You loved him in The Crow.
I loved him in The Crow. I liked him in 1491. I loved him in He's been in he was in Alien Resurrection.
Yeah.
He was in Alien Resurrection.
Yeah, he was one of
I'm
the
just saying,
gangster guys.
Yeah,
in Alien
no,
Resurrection.
he's a great. His voice.
I'm not gonna lie, that's
his
the one
voice
I'm like-
is fucking cool. I love his voice.
So yeah, that's what I read
don't
about
mind
him. He's got this like raspy voice that
Yeah.
does really well as a villain.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
in
he
most
did. He
movies.
was a good villain in this one.
Yeah.
And then Walter Sparrow as Duncan and Nick Brimble as Little John.
Yeah.
It was nominated for Oscars and Golden Globes for song and score.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to start off. Yen, this is your first time seeing this movie.
It is.
Which is hilarious because we did the Robin Hood
Men in Tights.
Yeah.
And you love that movie. You
Yeah.
hosted it. You're a big, big fan, and you have never seen this, which it
I
is
have
based
not.
off of.
Yeah.
So what are your initial thoughts on this movie?
I feel like I definitely
You saw it yesterday, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. First time yesterday. I definitely feel like I should have watched this before I watched Men in Tights. Only because it's almost 100% a spoof of this movie.
Yes, it is.
And it made fun of the English language.
Yes.
Or the English accent.
Yes.
The bad English accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no existing English accent. It wasn't even an accent. He just talked.
No, there were
he-
times in the movie where he tried. In fact, I even
Yeah.
watched the thing on it where you can hear a little bit of his
He did
English accent.
something.
He tried, and he was like, "Fuck this," and he gave up.
It was very subtle, but it was definitely
he had
off
a
at moments.
dialect coach.
Yeah.
And he worked with him and stuff, and the director he didn't like what was coming out of it, so they fired the dialect coach, and they were like, just do it.
Yeah.
Just talk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just talk.
Yeah. So I think it's very funny that's how that worked out.
Stop trying so hard.
But you
it's
know
not
what?
working
Kevin
for you.
Costner's a great actor, and sometimes some actors just can't pull things off. He didn't pull it off, but I still think he did a good job.
Not every actor is able to do dialects. Dialects are
Exactly.
hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, what were your thoughts? Because
So,
you
yeah.
interrupted her.
You would just back the shit off. Back it off. Yes, right.
Don't even start.
So I actually I enjoyed the film. It was very noticeable that pretty much everybody on the film had an accent of some sort. Even Morgan Freeman, who adopted an accent, except for him, and it did kind of stand out. You could try and hear a little bit of words here and there that he tried to curb.
Yeah.
To have an accent, but then it's like it just kind of went out the window.
But did it take you out of the movie?
Initially, it did.
Okay.
Initially, I was like, this is kind of off-putting. And maybe because I started it with more of a critical mind than I did at the end. But all in all, it was a pretty good film.
Awesome.
I did feel, maybe because I was tired, it did feel like it dragged on for long because it's like almost 2.5 hours. It's 2 hours and 23 minutes.
Can I ask which cut you watched? Did you watch the extended cut?
The original.
I watched whatever Amazon showed me.
The original.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think there was any kind of extended DVD version. Or
No, I
anything
think
that
you watched the original cut.
Yeah,
because that's about what I have.
So we have split. So we have 2 that watched original and 2 that watched director's cut.
And I can tell you exactly what stuff they added to it, but you can talk about that whenever you want to bring it up.
Well, you can bring it up because I don't know it because I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But when we get to that stuff, yeah. But yes, no, I was very interested in you. When we did Robin Hood, Men in Tights, and you're like, I've never seen it. I'm like,
It
was because
that was
I
a
love
shock
this
because I was
movie.
listening to you do that show,
Yeah.
and I was a little shocked at that.
that I hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
I love this
Yeah.
movie so much.
No.
And I saw it when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I went with my parents to go see it in theaters. So I have just a great love for this movie. And to find out that you love the spoof of it and have never seen the original, I was like, we got to fix this.
Yeah. No,
So I'm
it did
so
make
glad
me
that
laugh
we
a
follow
couple
this
times.
up. Yeah.
It did make me laugh a couple times.
The
during-
comparisons?
Yeah. And I mean,
it's a lot.
The sheriff's personality just made me laugh a little bit because he reminded me of like a toddler that was throwing tantrums.
Oh,
pretty much
Alan
the whole
Rickman.
film.
He's
Yeah.
amazing in this movie. Yeah.
But his character, like the way
He was
had to
outrageous.
play his character was just
Yeah.
like he's like throwing cloths at people
Yeah.
and just like doing
tantrums.
Yes.
He had tantrums.
He was a small
Constantly.
child.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was pleasantly surprised. It was better than I originally thought it was going to be because I had heard a lot of reviews about how it was kind of a wash because Kevin didn't have that accent that
Right.
everybody was hoping for.
See, for me, it never took me out of the movie. And that's like the thing. Like the movie has so many great moments. For that to be the thing that holds people up, kind of, it's sad to me
minuscule.
because it's a very, very good, very well done movie.
It's such a minute detail.
It is.
Yeah.
You okay there again?
No.
What'd you do?
Nothing.
Dropping stuff.
We're good.
No, it doesn't take you out of the movie. The thing is that a lot of the things in this movie are a lot better. And what I love about the movie is the grungy look. Like the whole dirty look of England.
Oh, yeah.
They were really legit on that, and that's what made it more realistic, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The accents don't take away from it. And in fact, when I was a kid, I didn't even care about that shit.
No, of course I
Watching
didn't
that. But then when you hear about all the news on Google and, IMDb says, oh, people complain about the fucking accent. It's like, I don't give a fuck. It was still a fun movie.
Yeah. It was. It's a really fun adventure film.
Yeah.
And that's what Robin Hood Tale is. It's folklore. It's it's folklore from back in the 1400s in England. And it's basically the same story that's just been told time and again, but it's always been the same. Like it has has not varied from its original
from
story.
the original lore.
Yeah, which is very cool that something can last for 600 years.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing.
I think the only thing that I kind of was looking for but didn't get to see was the only 2 Robin Hoods that I have to reference this by is
the spoof
cartoon.
Oh,
I guess,
okay.
That
Oh,
Disney made.
Disney did.
You talking about the Fox one?
Yes, I love that one.
Where Robin Hood is a fox.
Okay.
Love it.
And
one of my faves.
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Did you see the Russell Crowe one?
No, she
No.
literally just said she has 2. Robin Hood, Fox from Disney. And
Okay.
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
So there's the competition that Robin gets
The archery
into.
contest, yes.
Yeah, where this
And-
one didn't have that at all.
Right.
And I was almost kind of looking for that. To kind of maybe that is part of the story. Maybe it's not. Maybe just those 2 films that I have watched previously happen to have that similar scene.
Yeah.
But I was kind of looking to that for the original story. Didn't see it. Kind of bummed, but it didn't really take away from it.
Yeah.
But
It was a unique spin because in this instance, you're shooting down men being hung and having a different, much more dramatic element.
It is. It's not like this fun little, I'm going to enter this competition and they're going to catch me,
Right.
Yeah, I'm a rascal.
It's much more, it's a little bit more dark. There's a lot, as far as this goes.
Just wait. We'll get into the director's cut.
Okay.
I can't wait.
Yeah, the director's cut has a lot of occult in it.
It has a lot of
there's also
Satan worshiping in it.
Yeah.
It's not just that. There's also a little reveal about Mordiana.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we alluded to it when earlier anyway, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Which one is that? That's The Witch?
The
Yes.
Witch.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So when the first time you saw this was in the movie theater when it came out in 91.
Yeah, I saw this with my parents and my brother. We saw this actually at Spotsylvania Mall
Okay.
when they had a theater there. They
Nice.
used to have a theater at Spotsylvania
Yep.
Mall.
Okay.
I have a fond memory of that. I remember there was even a part in the movie that scared me was seeing the Robin Hood's dad inside the cage.
Yeah.
It scared me
yeah.
as a kid because seeing the face all fucked
Pecked
up and
apart
everything.
by the birds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, but other than that, yeah, that was I fucking love seeing that in the theater.
How about you?
So for me, I don't think I saw this one in theater. I definitely remember watching it on VHS with my dad when I was a kid. And it was funny. Like, I remembered it. I remember the lines about like cutting his heart out with a spoon and the thing about the sheriff and what is it he says and cancel Christmas.
Yeah.
I remember that. That's still a running joke in our family to this day. Like, if things get crazy.
We're just gonna cancel Christmas.
And cancel Christmas. Yeah. So there were things of it that I remembered from my youth, but I also remember it not holding my attention and I would be bored. Yeah. This was definitely something that as I've gotten older and I grew up with it, I appreciate more and more as I got older. Okay. And I think same thing. I was so used to Disney's version of Robin Hood that was my Robin Hood.
Yes.
So and surprise, it's got foxes. Are we really surprised? No. So yeah, no, like, and I think that was just it, is like, why am I going to attach myself to this version when it's much more drawn out? It's more dark. It's this, when I have the animated that it just clicked for me more when I was a kid.
Right.
So that was for me.
Okay.
What about you, Snow?
I saw this in the movie theater with my parents. It was one of those things to where I remember this movie from always, and I've always loved it. I thought it was beautiful. I loved their love story and the action and the characters, because there's so many really good characters in this movie. And one thing I wanted to get into right off the bat was other casting possibilities. So
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Well, the first one is, of course, Carrie Elwes was offered the role of Robin Hood.
Yes, I think we discussed that.
You brought this up
in
in Robin Hood, I believe.
Yeah,
He did,
so.
and he turned it down,
Yeah.
because he thought the plot was too contrived. And we did discuss this, and it's so funny because he ended up coming back and playing it in Men in Tights to spoof it.
That was such,
and
such
he
a
did
good play by him.
he did end up say that he kind of regretted not taking this one, but
I don't know. I think it worked out for the best because he is more, I feel like, of a comedic actor.
he is.
that
He's very funny.
I don't.
but he can do
I think it's
drama.
worked well with him.
He can do drama.
Yeah, I agree.
So-
I mean, he's had some very dramatic films.
Horror also. I mean, he was in
Yeah.
he was
Saw.
in Saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
well,
I think it worked out well.
The
It's
other one that I
meant to
think
be.
you're going to get a big kick out of, because the other one you did was Princess Bride.
Yes.
Robin Wright was supposed to be Marion.
Yes, I
Yes.
saw that.
Yeah, she was supposed to be
I
Marion.
saw.
She dropped out because she was pregnant, and it was Mary Elizabeth took this role over like 3 days before they shot the film.
Can you imagine
Wow.
if
Yeah,
Carrie
she did
Elwes?
phenomenal.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
her
It would have been a
been
reboot of Princess
that.
Bride.
Oh my
in a different
gosh.
way.
That would have been
Okay.
good because
Yeah.
she was actually a very pretty actress back then. I mean, she's actually been a lot of
This
movies.
is Princess
a lot.
Buttercup, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's
So,
actually been in a lot
yeah.
more movies lately.
And I think they had a pretty good chemistry in that movie.
And
This-
that was the intention, was to have them reconnect, but Carrie Elwes didn't want to do it, and then she had to drop out.
I bet that if
Interesting.
she would have been able to, he would have had motivation to do it. I almost bet.
Well, she was in it.
But she had when he was asked.
No, yeah, she was already cast. She was
but
she was
she had
supposed
to
to
get
do it.
out.
She dropped out days
I
beforehand.
see.
And then she did
Yeah.
Forrest Gump a year later as Jenny.
Jenny.
Yeah.
Jenna.
Yeah. And then Mel Gibson was also offered this role.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That would've-
Gibson
that
for
would have
what?
worked.
He turned it down because he didn't want to do another period movie. He had just done Hamlet.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So
what
he
I
passed
thought.
it over.
Okay.
Because
I can't see that.
I don't know.
There's,
I don't know.
I can't see that. I don't know.
It's yeah. I'm a Mel Gibson fan, but
I
don't
do
know.
like Mel Gibson. and I just-
That's something I have to see it. I would have to see him in the role.
Patrick Stewart was also up for the part of the sheriff,
Oh, but then he came back and
he
Minutes.
so
That's
Yeah,
funny.
he was
Yeah.
the king.
there's a
Men in
lot of
Tights.
crossover here.
yeah.
And then Sean Connery, who played King Richard, he was going to be Lord Loxley.
Oh,
But he passed on that because he felt like he had been playing a lot of fathers, and he didn't want to play another father.
Well, and funnily enough, Sean Connery was Robin Hood in Robin Hood.
He was it was Robin and Marion.
Yeah, so he already played it.
With your girl from Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Alan Rickman, who he turned it down originally. Yeah,
Really?
he turned it down because he did not like the part that they wrote for the sheriff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he
I think-
said the only reason he would sign on is if he could do whatever he wanted
He could
to with the
ad-lib it?
part.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
that's
and
what he did.
does
he took
so good.
He took the script and he messed with it and like sat down with his buddies to rewrite scenes.
Nice.
As far as how his part went, and that's what's in the movie is stuff that the sheriff stuff, all the funny stuff. That's him
Yeah.
and his comedian friends
Yeah.
who
that's
sat down and
good.
changed the script.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I think he turned it down twice, right?
Yeah.
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 That's pretty cool. And then the thing is, Alan Rickman was probably he stole
he
the
stole the
show.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he stole the show.
Hey, this is Sammy from Barrel Aged Chicks. Thanks for listening to our show, and here is the podcast of the month.
Face it, dating sucked in your 20s, gets worse in your 30s, and your 40s, forget it.
It's a cesspool out there, and we're your flotation device.
Join us weekly for saucy chat, ridiculous love gurus,
And MILF-worthy fun to spice up your life.
the MILF and Me podcast. Every Wednesday on your favorite pod platform.
And the MILFandMePod.com.
The MILF and Me podcast.
Welcome into Metalhead Journeys. What is Metalhead Journeys? It's exactly how it sounds. It's a journey through the world of metal by a couple of metalheads. Are you thinking of getting into metal? Where do you begin? There's so many different subgenres. What bands are good? What albums are good? We'll provide answers to all of those questions. We'll handle all the research and do all the dirty work by listening to the good, the bad, and the ugly, so you don't have to. Classic albums, new albums, bands no one's ever heard of. Get ready as we'll applaud and criticize with the same passion. This is Metalhead Journeys.
All right. So I want to go ahead and jump into the first clip with Azim and Duncan. It's called Moorish.
Great fucking scene.
Curse on Moors and Saracens. Were it not for their ungodly ways, Master Robin would never have left.
We're Duncan.
What manner of name is Azim? Irish? Cornish?
Moorish.
Mordish?
Was it not loud?
Moorish.
Volume was down.
Moorish?
He's a Moor.
What does that mean?
When it comes on
It's basically like black.
Oh.
Yeah, because they're not used to that. You know, he's from Africa. He's in, you know.
what I love about that scene is you just. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I thought it said something about. I thought it said something from like he was from the Middle East.
Well, it's he's Muslim, and it's when they were fighting the Crusades. When Robin was out there, the reason he got caught in the first place, he was fighting in the Crusades, and that was one of the people that the Christianity was fighting against in their
Crusades,
wars,
in the Crusades.
So
in their holy wars.
Yeah, he ended up fighting a lot of Moors, but then became friends with this one when they were both imprisoned together in the very beginning of the movie.
Okay.
And I think that I wanted to talk about Morgan Freeman real quick and see what you guys think of him as Azim. He's it's an incredible character.
Yeah.
And I think it portrays it puts a very good light on a Muslim character, which they don't do very often.
Yeah.
For me, like, he, again, was one of the memorable, and he, for me, other than the sheriff, because I do love Alan Rickman as the sheriff, I loved him in this role. I thought that he was fun. I love that he always was like, yes, Christian, and like breaking him down.
Yeah.
And like being a really good friend and being like, I will fill my oath when I'm ready.
Yeah.
Like, it was
He's
great.
like, you look like you got this.
Yeah. He's like, you very much like, did you die?
Yeah, he was to me, my favorite part of the movie.
Oh, really?
Azim was my favorite character. I don't know if you had that as a question, but
I do. Yeah, for later on.
Yeah, he was the best part of the movie. I loved every scene. To me, he stole all the scenes. I understand everybody loves Alan Rickman. He did a great job. But Azim, especially with that scene when the little invention of the water thing going up and he says, oh, it works. Says, of course it works. I mean, I laugh every single time I see that scene. I love every scene that he's in. Morgan Freeman's just a great fucking actor altogether. So, I mean, anything that he's in is usually gold.
He's got an amazing presence. I love him in Shawshank Redemption.
Great fucking movie as Red.
Yes. Yeah. But I think he has a lot of really small, like, comedic moments that stand out.
Yep.
when he gives him the binoculars, the telescope,
Yeah.
to look out and
he's
see
trying
the
to stab
sheriff's man
him.
coming, and he's like never seen a telescope before, so he thinks they're right in front of his face.
Yep.
And he's like, "How did you guys ever take Jerusalem? And
Yeah.
how did your uneducated kind ever take Jerusalem?
Is there no sun in this cursed country?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah."
Oh man, no, fucking great character.
Yeah.
That's great.
And
Their
that scene with the
hospitality is
Moorish.
as warm as the weather.
Yes.
And that scene with the Moorish, when Duncan is talking, he's just like leaning on the rock and just
He's like,
giving
"Yeah,
him that
where are you
look.
going with this, man?"
Yeah, like he's like, you're about to say something that's going to piss me off.
Well, I love it. I love that he's like Duncan goes on his whole rant, and then he's like, "Where are you from?" And he says Moorish, and he's like,
He's like, "Shit,
yeah,
yeah.
don't kill me! I'm already
Do you
had my
remember
eyes
that?
taken."
Yen looks perplexed.
Who's Duncan?
Duncan is the blind guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
the blind servant.
And also Azim's little beef with the what's the preacher's name? Shit, I forgot.
Friar Tuck?
Friar Tuck.
Oh yeah,
That was actually pretty
their
good.
like religious war they
Yeah.
had going on there.
Yeah, and the thing that comes up, he says that let's go ahead and talk this out and have some beer. He says, I do not drink. He says, that's fine. You talk, I drink.
Yeah.
I fucking love that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
that was
I
good.
really like Friar Tuck too, and I want to get into him later.
Oh yeah, no, he's good.
But yes, so one of the things that I think is one of the really great things they did in this movie is they used all of these beautiful film locations. And I wanted to ask you about the cinematography and like the places that this was shot. They did in the very beginning, the White Cliffs of Dover, when Robin arrives on back in England.
Yes.
Yep.
When he tries to catch Azim, and he's like, I had to try, you know?
Yeah.
But then also they do Hadrian's Wall.
Yep.
Which is just absolutely amazing. Do you know Hadrian's Wall?
Not until this movie.
Okay, so it's the wall that they cross where they first meet the sheriff's men, and it's goes all the way back to the Roman times, and it was like the border for the Roman Empire in England.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a 73-mile long wall in England.
Wow.
What I love is that this movie was shot in location.
Yes,
In England. So
Yeah.
it's very legit.
and France.
Yeah.
And yeah, they shot it, but mostly in England. But they used all of the castle shots. They were in real castles.
Yep.
They did Alnwick Castle, which is for some inner shots, and they did Harry Potter there.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's just really, really beautiful. Locksley Castle still stands there. Obviously, it's lasted this long. It's going to last 20 more years. So you can go visit it.
Yeah.
But that one is the old Waldorf Castle. And then the Home Prairie, which is a church, and that's where Marion's home was, where they shot. But they shot all of these places in real life locations.
That's really cool.
And they're so beautiful.
But where exactly was it in England that they had the fight with Little John in the water,
Yes.
the river?
Yes.
Because that is a cool scene. I mean, it's beautiful. Like before they have it, like just seeing it, is gorgeous.
All of the waterfall scenes, the rivers, all of that stuff is just spread throughout England. They did all these location shots in England.
That's cool.
Were
Yeah,
any of
that's
you
very
guys noticing how yellow the water looked on the waterfall?
Yeah.
Or was that just me?
It's sediment and dirt.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
It's pee.
I know. I mean, I know it's probably natural.
I thought it was a beautiful
I
fucking
was
white.
like, that's
That's
just
where all
really yellow.
That's where all of them go to do their business.
Nottinghamshire, all the water exits there.
It's probably
But like I said, all these on-set locations and the river and everything else, it looked it was real. It was shot in England,
Yes.
but it looked great because of that. Like the castles looked very damp and wet and everything, and like
Yes.
very dark and grungy. And that's what I
because
love
England
about it.
You can't build that
those
shit
things.
in a set. They
No.
literally, they really utilize the beauty of all of this old English countryside.
Reminded me of Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Yeah, because they did the same thing where it looks very dirty and it just looks more realistic that
Yeah.
way.
Bring
It's
out
rustic.
your dead.
Yeah.
It's rustic. But they did that, like, everybody's really authentic. Everybody had dirty teeth. You know, it's everything, all those little details that just kind of add something to it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite places that they shoot is the outside scenes of Nottingham.
Yep.
Is in Carcassonne, France.
Oh, really?
And it is this labyrinthian town that used to be, it was built like way back in like 100 BC. And then it got burnt down, and it was King Louis in 1246 said that they could rebuild this town, and it was a fortified town that they built on this hill in the south of France over by the Spanish border.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I actually did a report on this place.
Oh, that's cool.
When I was in college.
Yeah.
Really?
Because I was taking French.
Students knew.
I know. Well, I was taking French, and they were like, "Okay, we want you to do like a travel agent itinerary brochure. So pick somewhere in France."
cool. Yeah.
I picked this place because of this movie.
Oh, that's cool.
And the city actually looks like the labyrinth. Like it's so
Oh,
cool.
that's neat.
And it's just got fortifications and a moat, and
That's
like it's
cool.
cool. But
Yeah.
it's like you can go and visit there and stay there, and it's but
still
they did a
exists.
lot of their exterior shots there, and it's just absolutely stunning.
That's neat.
And then when the only sets that they really built was for like the Nottingham Bailey.
yeah.
And they did-
Mordiana's, I'm sure Mordiana's was also a set right there. Mordiana's little
or
dungeon.
her little cathedral
Yeah.
thing where she it was his chapel,
Yeah.
which was her. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they did for that Bailey, that outdoor Bailey, they had enough.
What the heck is a Bailey? You keep saying Bailey, and I have no idea what it is.
Okay, so like a castle, and then you have the outer wall.
Okay.
And then you have like the inner courtyard where they
Yes.
have all of the like it's inside of the wall, but outside of the castle.
Okay.
Yeah, so
okay.
it's like the courtyard.
Courtyard.
Think of the
Got it.
courtyard in
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Well, I was like, so it's like the Red Keep.
It's yes, it's a courtyard.
Got it.
Yeah.
So that whole courtyard was all.
I've never heard the term.
Yeah.
Oh, Bailey, I need a lot.
Just
Never
normal
heard of it.
conversation.
Yeah, Bailey.
Let's go to the Bailey.
Bailey's Crossroads.
So, but no, the that whole set was immense, and it said that they could build. They could have built 50 houses.
Wow.
With all the wood that they built, and they could have covered 3 battleships in paint.
Are you serious?
With the amount of
Holy
paint and wood that they used to
really?
recreate
Wow.
that. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So it was
Jeez.
actually like an enormous set that they built. That's where they did the hanging.
Oh, yeah. That was
the
going to be my
courtyard I'm
question.
talking-
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
going to be my
courtyard
question.
I'm talking about. So
Okay.
that whole thing.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes on in there.
Yes.
What was the budget again that you said in the beginning?
It was 48 million.
48 million.
They stretched it. They did a lot with that money.
Which is pretty decent because I know Waterworld came out a couple years later and that was a higher budget.
Sorry.
It's not a bad movie. It's fun.
That's the
movie.
other Kevin Costner movie, right?
It's not
Yes.
great.
Yes.
And that's where it ended.
It's Mad Max on water.
There's history of that one too about Kevin Reynolds and Kevin Costner, but that's a different movie, so I apologize.
So one of the things so that's all of the locations. Once Robin and Azim, they flee their country and they go back to England, and he ends up killing the sheriff's men in defense of this boy.
Yep.
And essentially becomes an outlaw himself on his way home. And he finds that his father has been killed by the sheriff, and finds Duncan. And then
Blinded.
Duncan and Azim meet, and they have that little interaction that we did there. But then he goes and he goes to his childhood friend because his best friend, basically, that he had traveled the Crusades with, was killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the opening scene. And so he's going to her sister to let her know, his sister to let her know what happened. And that's Maid Marian, who he has known since childhood.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in doing so, he has to flee the sheriff's men again and ends up in Sherwood Forest. That whole escape scene there is really, I think, super well done with the way they shot it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
With him, riding the horses, and they're escaping escaping into the woods.
And you have Azim. He's like, mine's carrying 2 and yours is lame. We're not going to unroute them.
we're not getting very far.
We're not going
And
to
he's
do
like,
this.
okay, we're going into the woods.
And they're like, but it's haunted, Master Robin.
yeah. Yeah.
Then they see the windpipes and it's a child's toy, basically.
Yeah. No.
Well, one of the fun things is when they're escaping into the forest and the horse rears up before they get there, the horse actually broke Kevin Costner's nose.
Oh.
But he just kept going with it, and they kept filming.
That's
and,
dedication
and did,
right there.
Did through it, yeah. But
You're a big fan of Kevin Costner, right?
I like him. There's
Yes.
not a lot he's done that I have not. I
No,
honestly
I'm in the
couldn't
same.
name anything.
I'm in the same vein with you. I love a lot of his movies in the early
Yeah.
'90s. He's done great movies, and
Yeah.
he's done shitty ones too. The
I don't
Postman.
That one was
anything revolving the post
Is
office.
that the
gonna
one
suck.
where he had to travel a really long time across the ice or something?
I think
It's
so.
been a while since I've seen it.
I know
It's
that
boring.
feel like
I
it's
know
a
the
long-
Postman was so bad, and my dad was in the same camp. He loved Kevin Costner movies.
Yeah.
he went to see it with my mom. It was one of the movies I went to see on a date. The Postman was so bad that my dad and mom literally walked out of the theater.
Wow.
That's how bad it was.
Dances with Wolves is one of his best.
Yes.
Sorry, I don't want to break, but that is a
you're
great fucking movie.
It is. It absolutely is.
It's good.
So
it's
going
long,
back
but it's good.
to the parts where you're talking about kind of getting to this scene eventually when he is escaping with the horses.
Yes.
So when him and Azim are walking on the wall,
Yeah.
going to his castle, I think that was one of the parts where I just felt very annoyed by Robin's
by him
character.
talking?
It's like he was acting like he
Cocky.
was a teenage boy, just
Well,
full like
Yeah, cocky.
hyper and just kind of like bouncing around everywhere. And Nazim is like, I really don't want to fucking talk about it. Leave me alone.
Well, also, you have to kind of think, if you put it into the perspective that he has been at war for, 10 years.
The
And he
Crusades.
hasn't been home.
Yeah.
So he's finally home. Like,
And
that's why
free.
he's kissing the sand when they get there. Like, he's going to go... He's going to go home and have dinner with his father. Like, he's very excited, like a little boy, because he's been gone doing something terrible for so long.
And the death of his
finally he's
father
home.
changes
So I think he
him.
was on an endorphin high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And seeing the death of his father, and that changed him, knowing what the country turned into, and because that was his land and everything else, he lost all of it, and the sheriff of Nottingham took it.
To a lie, because they said that he was a devil worshiper.
Exactly.
His dad was a devil worshiper.
So it kind of changed him and made almost like a revenge thing for him, and
I mean,
that's something I want to bring up later in the show.
I get that, but going through war, you're not going to come back like a bubbly teenager either. And him bouncing off the wall, being like, "Ooh, what was the girl's name? What was the girl's name?" It didn't sit.
You didn't like his personality all that
It didn't seem
much,
like it fit very well in that moment.
Okay.
That's all.
but you saw that it changes throughout the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. A bit,
So,
definitely. I mean, maybe they needed to make that contrast.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Plus, I think
It
Azim
sounds like
also
it was
helped
a
him.
weird juxtaposition for you.
Yeah.
And I feel like Azim was also kind of like a coach, like helping him turn into a
Yeah.
better,
Mature?
like giving him advice. A mature person actually.
Very.
It kind of changed him and made him a better person, and
Made him look at the world a little bit differently.
exactly. And I love how they became like best friends. Basically, they were behind each other's back until he was fucking praying, and he wouldn't help him when he was hitting the soldiers.
Hey,
Well,
he was
it's
fine. He didn't die.
No,
Yeah.
he was good.
He was still alive.
He can handle himself. Well, I think it's also a thing. Okay, so when he leaves the Crusades and when they start their journey back to England, that's not like, it doesn't take a weekend. It's months. It's months to get back to England. So he's had all this time to maybe build up this anticipation for going home. So when he gets there, he's just excited. That's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah.
He's just excited to be going home and reconnecting with his father, which he really wants to do, because they left on terrible terms. Right. So I think it might be just
And Robin left when he was like, what, 12? Isn't it? Because he's like, I had a falling out, a 12-year-old boy.
They had what happened with his father's not affair, but when his father got with the other woman, he was 12.
Yeah.
I don't know that he necessarily left for the Crusades that early, but they
there
had
was
the
bad-
rift.
there was
No,
bad
he had
blood.
he had a bad argument with his father, and after that he left, and then he went and left for the Crusades. He didn't want to be there anymore because he was so pissed off at his father.
Yeah, but it doesn't say the age that he left. It just said that they had a bad relationship from that point on.
Probably
But
like
he didn't know
14
he had
or
a brother
15.
though, because if
No.
you
Well, no, because that was from the other
other
woman.
Well,
Right.
because
Will Scarlet.
because that woman and his father split before that kid was born. Because Robin never knew about it.
Yeah.
So literally, Will is like, you ruined my life because I never got to have a father. I never got to have any of the things that you had. That's why he's a spoiled little rich boy. I never got to have that because you ruined that for me by breaking them up.
What I love about that is that after he told him that and everything else, he just said, I have a brother, because he lost his father. He doesn't have any family anymore. He has a brother. He has somebody flesh and blood like him because it's from his same father and everything.
Yeah.
So I love that whole story, that whole little beef between them, and it turns in them.
And they end up reconnecting.
Which Christian Slater did a great job, in my opinion.
He was fun.
Yeah.
He was fun.
Yeah.
So on their journey going through Sherwood Forest, they end up coming across the Merry Men.
Yep.
Little John and that whole interaction in the
John
water.
Little.
Yes. Which I wanted to
Little John.
ask you about seeing the one from Men in Tights, where it's completely ridiculous, knocking each other in the fingers with sticks and falling in a creek that's half an inch deep, versus what it was taken off of, which is still kind of funny the way it was done. So, what did you think about the original of that, where that was taken from?
Yeah, I was actually a couple times watching that whole scene, I was expecting the battle to be over and be like, oh, it's kind of disappointing that's short, whenever Robin would like go under the water or whatever and disappear. But found it absolutely hilarious at the end when Little John is, quote unquote, defeated.
Yes.
And he's like, all right, you can stand up now. And he's like, oh, I can stand up on this water.
He's like, now we're buddies. You got me. Yeah. He's like, okay, you're cool, man.
Truce. He's like, yeah, truce.
You bested
well,
me.
I'll be buggered.
Yeah, I am buggered. He loved being buggered.
I was pleasantly surprised. Robin got his butt beat.
Yeah, he gets his ass. He gets his ass handed.
He gets his fucking nose busted.
I censored myself. He got his booty beaten. No, and I honestly thought he was out.
Yeah.
Like 3 times, I think, at least on that scene.
Yeah. But it
was funny.
Yeah, but he ended up, he's resilient. That one. I can't swim. Yeah.
The funny thing was that you see him like waving over to Azim, help me, and Azim's just like,
he's like, get up, move faster.
Yes. Any suggestions? Move faster.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Like, get your shit
like,
together, man.
This is one guy. You got this.
yeah, it was a great scene. Then, it's a hurtful scene, seeing that fucking stick go right between the legs. I was like, oh, that's painful.
I mean,
and that's how you bust a ball.
Man up.
Oh yeah, man up. You try getting hit there when you're a guy. It
We
fucking
don't have
sucks.
balls.
Yeah.
You always say it hurts just the same. You always say that.
Yeah, when you you're talking about when you like boob punch me and stuff.
Whacked in the boob.
Yeah,
getting hit in the boob hurts like a butt. There's a lot of muscle. Mushu. It's muscle and tissue.
Mushu.
Muscle, tissue, and nerves. And nerves that are connected to all of the things.
Yeah.
Like there's glands in there too. You got glands down there. We got glands up here.
There's a
and
lot
they're bigger. So they're easier to hit.
And they swell with hormones.
They do.
But they're fun to slap around.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
They're
For
not.
who?
They're not fun to get
us.
slapped.
No.
I'm kidding.
Hard
No.
No, I'm
I
not.
just want to talk about this situation where guys feel like it is okay to slap a girl's boobs around and think that is fucking hot. No. Most of the
That
time,
shit
girls do not
hurts.
want their boobs tweaked, pushed, punched, or anything.
Yeah.
That is not sexy, and we're not turned on by it.
It's not just me. Okay,
It's
good.
not.
Listen
no.
up.
Okay.
Listen up, Esther. Listen
That's
up.
right. Educate.
Stop grabbing my boobs.
Educate. Yes, barrel-aged chicks. All about the
You know what?
education.
Kiss
I'm
me
glad
on the
it's
neck.
not just me. Yeah.
Clean some
Nuzzle.
dishes.
Yeah,
Vacuum.
squeeze is good.
Yeah.
But don't just fucking like
Bitch
whack a
slap
mole
that
around
shit.
it.
No.
Yeah.
And don't tune in Tokyo. Not hot.
Rules of the trade.
Not hot.
Who taught you these things?
Yeah.
Porn. Porn.
Well, they're wrong.
Tits are fun to play with. Sorry. Can't help it.
Then treat them better.
it. Don't start with this.
Treat them better. They want to be like loved.
Sorry,
Yes.
PSA.
No.
Over with.
But no, you got to admit, Little
That
John,
was a PSA brought to you by Baylor.
the actor that played Little John, I've never seen him in any other movie, but
Nick
I thought that
Brimble.
he portrayed. Yeah, I've never seen him in any other
Yeah.
movie. He portrayed him perfectly.
Yeah. Little.
I think he's one of the best John Littles I've seen.
Yeah.
Actually,
He's great.
Little.
Okay, so Robin makes friends with Little John, and they, become
Buddies.
They become buddies, and they share the meat around the fire and tell their stories. And with Robin seeing all the poverty that has essentially fallen on everyone, and figuring out that it's all the sheriff's fault, he decides basically to just kind of take charge of these people and help them create a sanctuary, because they're being evicted from their homes.
Yep.
Their villages are being burnt down, all searching for Robin because the sheriff has a hard on for him.
Yep. Well,
And this leads up to him going ahead and saying he wants to lead these men.
yes.
You wish to end this? Yeah. You wish to go home? Yeah. Then we must stop fighting amongst ourselves and face it, the price for it may be dear. I, for one, would rather die than to spend my life in hiding. The sheriff calls us outlaws. But I say we are free. And one free man defending his home is more powerful than 10 hired soldiers. Crusades taught me that. I will make you no promises save one. That if you truly believe in your hearts that you are free,
Hearts.
then I say we can win.
They got armor.
They got armor, Bull? Even this boy can be taught to find the chinks in every suit of armor.
But we ain't got nothing to eat.
What do we need that the
There was a little of
bullets
his
cannot
English
provide?
accent right there.
We have food, wood for weapons. We'll find safety and solace in our trees.
Yeah, but what about our kin? Sheriff's taking all they got, too.
And by God, we take it back.
And that fucking score right there, I love. I love that
the
score.
music in this is so well.
Yes.
We'll definitely get to the music piece, but it's the music in this movie is
It's
really
beautiful.
driving. I love
Training
it.
montage scene is one of my favorite score pieces from this film.
Yeah. Well, that whole scene where they end up like erecting this town in the trees. They build their own sanctuary.
They build their own army.
It's like a
armor.
forest village.
Yeah, they start train. He teaches all these people how to fight. They start making their own weapons.
Azim's training all of them how to actually stab person and kill somebody with a sword, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah. It's all of this one-on-one training plus creating this sanctuary and how to get your food and living off the land in a very real way. And it's one of those things that like he created that space for them.
And
I wanted
how
to know,
all of
what
their
did you guys-
hustling, all the hustling of robbing the rich.
Oh yeah, and then they start coordinating that all of that, which I think those were really they did some really
was
cool
really cool.
traps.
Yes.
They
were super
seducing
cool.
the rings off of the
Oh,
girl.
yeah.
Yeah, she was like, "You can have my rings."
Oh, but
Dude,
there were,
I'm surprised he didn't be like, bitch, give me your crown.
but I won't lie. Some of those traps, especially with the guys where they run around, they run underneath like little flaps right
And they
there.
fall
Then you
onto
see
the
the
ground.
horses run around. I'm always wondering,
Have
man,
to
what if
not
those
get trampled
horses?
on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
I was thinking about that. I was like,
Yeah.
God, those horses were a little close.
Yeah, so
Right?
even like as an accident, they accidentally step on one of the guys.
No, legit, when we were watching this, S was like, how do they not get stepped on? I'm like, well, if they do, then they're done.
That's the risk you take.
They're gonna give away their hiding spot real fast.
Very quickly. Or not at all, depending on where that horse steps.
What was that dump? What was the one that says I'm just as long?
Oh, Bull.
I loved his character.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed him. I thought Bull was actually
Well,
pretty
you like
funny.
a look.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. But I wanted to know, what did you guys think of their tree camp?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was super duper cool.
Sorry, that was a loud bag.
It's all good. I thought it was super duper cool. Again, like to see them utilize it to have these emergency like plans and all of these things drawn up to defend themselves and defend all of it. And like it's everyone loves seeing like people rise from the ashes and the underdog story and seeing that's what this was. It was just these people being like, we're done, we're tired, we're making a stand.
Yes.
And I think it was amazing. I thought it was great.
Well,
Fond memory. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Fond memory I have about the forest is I played the toys.
Okay, so I was going to bring up the toy set because
Yes.
Ragnar had the toy
Me
set
too. Me too.
And it's funny because like it was actually the Ewok set and they just basically renamed it.
Yes.
It was
It
the
had all
Ewok
the
set.
vehicles with the catapults and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I used to play that with my friends back when I was living in the townhouse in Springfield, and oh my God, so much
he
fucking
said
fun
that
with
he
those.
had a lot of fun with the toy set for this.
So
Yep.
what?
Yeah.
There was
so
a toy set in the
they
90s.
made the toy sets to go along with the movies, and one of the ones they did is they took the Ewok Village toy set and they just made it this, and they just altered it a little bit and renamed it, so it turned into like the Tree Village was this toy set that you could play
Of Sherwood
and interact
Forest.
and like
Of Sherwood Forest.
action army guy,
Stuff.
kids toy.
Interesting.
And Ragnar said he used to love it. Yeah.
Never heard of. Oh, okay. Wow.
As
That's a lot
Yen
of
checks the
pieces.
internets.
Yeah. So I just wanted, like, what did you guys think of like that whole camp and the way they went about doing their robbing from the rich and raiding the shit out of the sheriff?
Goodness gracious.
They took all of his money.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. I never had that, but I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting how like anybody that came across was like, we're going to take your money.
Yeah. Well, like, yeah,
jewelry too. Yep. whatever you have.
Yeah,
give it to
well,
me.
even when, Maid Marian and Sarah, they're walking through the forest and they get held up. And they're like, they were the only ones who could defend themselves.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's a scene that was taken out of the movie, which explains something. You remember when they grabbed that chest and they opened that chest and it was full of gold? You saw Kevin Costner's hair was wet.
No.
Okay.
His hair was also. Well, there was a reason why. There was a scene cut out where him and Azim are on a wagon, and they're riding the wagon with the thing, and then Azim jumps on the horses, and Kevin Costner's like, "Wait, what are you doing?" And he just rides along with the horses, and then the wagon
cart get
flips
launched
inside the
into
creek, and you
river.
see Kevin Costner
that's
launch in
funny.
the river. That was in the extended cut.
Okay.
So it explains why his hair was all slick and wet, because you never was like, why is he wet? Like his hair is all wet.
I'm so confused.
I
Okay,
didn't even
so was Robin in the wagon or
No.
on
So
top,
he's
or-
on. He's running the horses on the front of the wagon, like where they. Where
And
the
Azim's right next to him, like
where
smiling,
the horse
too.
riders like ride.
Is anybody in the?
No.
It was just full of gold.
Yes. No. I think there were guards in it.
Might have been.
Because remember, he's like, if you surrender your weapons, we'll let you out.
Yeah.
So there were armored guards. There were armored guards, I think, in it. So no, there were definitely some casualties, I believe,
I
when
was
it
trying
got
to
flipped
figure out
into the
why
wagon.
would he want to flip the wagon if
No.
nobody was there? So there were guards inside the wagon.
99% sure because like he was like, if you give us your weapons, like like we'll let you out.
Okay.
But sadly, in the meantime, they're running. Azim sees what's coming up and he jumps off with the team of horses, cuts the thing, leaves Robin on it as it's going. So again, it is one of those fascinating things. And real quick, in the director's cut, you do find out kind of like more of what's going on and why all of these people are being given this gold, essentially.
Yeah, well, from
the sheriff.
The barons, because he's trying to bribe them because he wants to
Yes.
overtake the throne.
He wants to overtake the throne.
It's all implied, and they talk about it a little bit, but I guess they go into more detail. In
They
the
explain it more because there's even a part where they're running out of all the gold, and then they're doing like they're worshiping Satan and all that. They're like,
They're all done. They're all
and then the
devil
sheriff
worshipers in
is
it.
just putting little bags of gold in front of them,
And
then
they're
they
like,
open
what
them
the
up.
fuck is this?
What is this? You promised us wagons of gold. And it was
Yeah.
like because all the gold's being stolen by Robin Hood.
Yeah. Which is revealed obviously when you see his hoard.
Yes.
And he's like, and it's blood money. And it's 100% is.
Yeah.
But it was, Ron said that I had seen the director's cut before, but there were scenes that I'm like, fairly certain I would remember that.
I need to watch the director's cut.
It's
It's only like 7 or 8 minutes longer.
I could definitely watch this movie over and over again.
It
I
is-
do really
I
enjoy
recommend it because, like I said, it fills in some of the gaps.
Okay.
And it does, like, again, there is more occult. There's definitely more devil worship. That is really prominent.
and it
in
also explains who the mother of the sheriff is.
Yeah,
Right,
A
Mordiana.
huge Mordiana turns out to be his biological mother. All of that.
Ew.
So yeah, it's kind of crazy, but it definitely gives it another like level of
Yeah.
appreciation.
Yeah.
To see it.
Well, to show why he's
It gets
so
it richer.
devoted to the witch.
So what he's doing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
That was a weird relationship that I noticed, like between him and
her.
and her.
She was just terrible. Like she was just awful to look at, and
Right.
super creepy. She
You know
did
what
a
she
really good
You know
job.
who she reminded of? Her face. I thought it was the actress, but it's not. It just looked like the actress that played the Harry Potter woman, the one that turns into a cat.
McGonagall?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Slightly.
It doesn't look like her at all.
I didn't
Not
catch
at
that.
All right. Well, I saw a little bit of that in there when I was a
Not at
kid. I
all.
thought it was
Just
the
because
same
she's
actress.
an old English woman? No.
No, she actually looked like her a little
No,
bit.
she
I
does not.
thought she did.
You are
I didn't
insulting
get
the
that.
shit out of
Oh,
Maggie
come
Smith.
on.
Don't do
No.
that.
She wasn't that. She was a good witch, though. She played a good witch.
No, she plays the actress who played Morgiana, she plays a fantastic like witch like
She was
character.
creepy as fuck.
Oh,
You
yeah,
want to be
yes,
around that
she-
bitch?
She was super effective.
No,
Yeah.
she really was. And another thing that it's really funny because as you see in the directors, when like the sheriff is throwing his tantrums, she's just sitting there like basically like prepping for her next ritual. She's like, yeah, tell me how hard your life is. like she's like,
Something, no, she said
something vexes thee.
something,
Yes,
that's,
yeah.
yeah, somebody. That's exactly
yeah, and it was again finding out that it's his mom.
Yeah.
It just brought it to again that other level of like, here you go again. All right,
Yeah.
fantastic. Like,
Well, it was
stop being
something-
such a little whiny bitch.
It was something about the way he was so interested in what she was doing.
The approval.
and like how he was almost like giddy with excitement of what the stones were going to tell her.
Well, because that's the future.
Well,
that
he was raised with her.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it was weird. So like, because I'm thinking in my head, okay, Robin Hood, Men in Tights, the relationship between the sheriff and the witch in that one, and I'm like,
this is weird.
Yeah, because he had a crush on the sheriff in that one.
Yeah, no, she was in love with him in that one.
It wasn't the
yeah, it was the sheriff.
Yeah, she was in love with the sheriff, but Prince John was the one that she dealt with.
Yes.
Because they added Prince John into Men in Tights, who's not in this.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. That's where I was thinking.
See, well, the whole thing about Prince John is that is actually a part of the original story of Robin Hood, because I actually watched some of the history about Robin Hood and stuff like that. That's actually the original story. The whole, the thing where they do the competition and everything, they changed it. With this one, they actually made a different story because Azim was never a character in the Robin Hood story.
Right.
They added more characters, which was actually really regular in the 90s, where they kind of changed stories around and made them more different, made them, change.
They make them richer by adding more.
I was going to say, in the original lore, wasn't Prince John Prince Richard's brother?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he was seeking out the throne.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was seeking to overthrow him.
To put himself on it.
And in this, the sheriff is trying to overthrow him.
There's
there's no relationship between him and the king.
No, he's just, he's ambitious.
Yeah. Right. He sees the opportunity. His mother, Mortiana, has predicted that they can do it, basically.
Put thine own issue on the throne. That's put your kid on the throne.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought was
through royal blood, which is married.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense now, because the similar facial features and hairstyle between Robin Hood Men in Tights and Robin Hood Prince of Thieves, between the sheriffs, were much more similar than, in my head, I thought, because of the relationship between the witch and the sheriff, I thought he was
supposed to be Prince John.
Yeah. And then the guy was the sheriff.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but the one in Robin Hood Men in Tights, who that was based off of his look. It's based off the old 1930s
Errol Flynn.
Errol Flynn Robin. I don't know if y'all talked about that in the.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
My dad mentioned it, but no.
Yeah.
No. Carrie Elwes's look was based off of Errol Flynn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like all of the liberties between everything else was pretty much to look off of Prince of Thieves.
But believe it or not, I like the story in this Robin Hood better than the original story.
Yeah.
I think it's actually a lot more fun. Like I said, the Azim character, I enjoyed him. I enjoy the whole thing with them getting the Scots to come in.
The Celts.
The Celts, sorry. The Celts to come in.
They are Scots. They are.
I thought that was really cool. I thought it's just a great adventure, war, drama, comedy. It's everything. It's everything you want in a movie.
Well, speaking of comedy, why don't we go ahead and do the funny lines of Alan Rickman?
Loxley! I'm gonna cut your heart out with a spoon!
Why a spoon, cousin? Why not an axe?
Because it's dull, you twit. It'll hurt more.
Well, perhaps we could create a name for him. Something to drive fear into the hearts of the populace. Maybe Loxley the Lethal or Reeking Robin.
Whatever. I want him dead by the next full moon, before the barons come back. Now sew.
Stitches small.
And keep the stitches small.
So funny. Well, like most of that stuff was either an improvisation or it was lines that he had rewritten with his friends, like sitting in a Pizza Hut.
Nice.
I read about that.
Yeah, he took the script and he was sitting with his comedian friends in a Pizza Hut to rewrite his lines.
So what if he did that for Galaxy Quest too? Because he was so funny in that.
He's so good
He's
on
very
his feet.
funny.
He's so good at ad-libbing and
he's
improv.
one of my favorite actors.
Was he comedic in Love Actually?
No,
he was
he wasn't. He was just.
He was
meh. That was a little awkward and charming.
Okay.
Because I think Alan Rickman is always charming. Even when he's this, he's still got a little bit of, it's weird.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I know. I didn't like him in Love Actually, though, because he's a schmuck.
All I
but
know
you
is
do like the movie now.
I do like the movie now. I do.
I know you've changed her ways of that movie because when we first saw this,
ways?
he hated it. Or your views of the movie.
Yeah,
no, it's a very good movie.
Really
Alan
good.
Rickman, he's got good comic timing, just like he has good comic timing in Die Hard. You know, he was a good villain in Die Hard. He's one of the best villains ever.
No, for me,
he was amazing
Dogma.
as Snape.
Yeah, no, that's
And
his.
that was one of those to where you assume he's a villain for so much, and then you find out he's actually the hero of his story, who's been protecting him all these years.
And that's his staple role.
As we were listening to those, I was imagining if Snape was Voldemort. He's like, get Harry Potter. Like, I don't know why my brain went there. That's why I was literally giggling so hard.
This is one of my favorite Alan Rickman roles.
Oh, it's great.
It's the first time I was ever introduced to Alan Rickman.
Really?
No, that's the same for me.
Yeah.
That's exactly the same for me,
and
too.
it sticks with me. And he's just so good at being bad.
Yeah.
You know, I think I saw Die Hard after this at some point.
I feel like he stuck with me more. No, it was
You really liked him in Dogma as
I loved him as a Metatron.
as the angel.
So good.
Yeah, loved him in that.
So good. He was not even in it that much, and it's amazing. He steals it when he's in it. It's so good. He was a phenomenal actor. Rest in peace, Alan.
Yeah, he died way too soon because I think he was only in his 60s, I believe.
Well, what is your favorite line, like one-liner from Alan Rickman in this, The Sheriff of Nottingham?
Cancel Christmas.
Cancel Christmas.
I knew it was going to be that one.
Yes.
Everybody loves that line.
We actually use it in my family.
Cut your heart out with a spoon. I'm sorry. The way he says it, because Robin Hood's right above there.
Cut your heart out with a
spoon. And you see,
So
and then it
much
begins.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the best line right there.
What about you, Jan?
I don't know.
Does anything? I know you've only seen it the once, but does anything stick out? Anything about him stick out?
I mean, the Christmas thing was kind of the Christmas. I remember listening to the Christmas thing. I was thinking, wait,
and you hear Christmas
did they
bells
even
afterwards.
celebrate Christmas then? I was trying
Well,
to
they had Yule.
figure
Yeah,
out if
they had
there was
Yule.
like a time period kind of situation where it was like kind of off.
And that was a completely improvised line.
I figured it would be.
Yes, yeah. And the I mean, that and the spoon statement was funny. Nothing else is really popping out at me. Yeah, nothing right now.
Yeah. For me, it's when he's going through that whole thing, call off Christmas, and he's walking through the thing, and he's like, "You, Myram, 10:30 tonight. You, 10:45, and bring a friend."
Yes. Yeah.
Like it's all like it's either that, and actually, it's all in the next clip that I want to play. That whole thing, but his whole thing when he's like, "Fine, bring up turn the bounty up. It's 25,000 crowns." He's like, "It's not going to help." He's like, "Wait, Robin Hood steals money from my pocket, forcing me to hurt the public, and they love him for it." Yeah, like that whole thing just like cracks me up. So let's go ahead.
We reckon he's nicked 3 to 4 million in
It's a lot of fucking money.
All right, then.
Way
fine.
back
Raise
then?
the bounty on
Oh,
his
yeah.
head. 25,000 crowns.
Begging your pardon, sire, it won't do no good. How much you raise it?
Really, Scribe, and why is that?
Because, sire, the poor, you see, he gives them what he takes, so, well, sire, they love him.
Just a minute. Robin Hood steals money from my pocket, forcing me to hurt the public. And they love him for it?
Yes.
That's it. Cancel the kitchen scraps for lepers and orphans. No more merciful beheadings.
Merciful beheadings.
Call off Christmas.
What is that? What's a merciful beheading?
Making it quick.
People plague my door whining.
I love that he's like reprimanding them like children. Yeah, it's like, there go all your benefits.
What I love about the cancel Christmas line is right after he says that, Michael Caine's score puts a little Christmas bells right afterwards.
Sir Guy's patrols have found nothing, sire.
No camp, nothing. This hooded viper simply slithers into the forest. You, Myram, 10:30 tonight. You, 10:45. Bring a friend.
So ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
So ridiculous.
He's just, I
amazing,
can't
though.
picture anybody else doing this.
No.
And
Like-
you said it was going to be Patrick Stewart?
That Patrick Stewart was offered the role, and he turned it down.
Yeah.
I'm curious what his version would have been like.
Not
I
as
don't think
good.
so.
Probably
Because
not.
also you have to realize that
Because he's good with comedy, too.
But
He
but
is,
you have to
surprisingly.
realize that it's so funny because Alan Rickman changed it. It's not what it was originally written as.
Yeah.
So it would have been a completely different character.
It probably would, but would you ever
have
still
had all the lines.
fascination of what it would have been like with Patrick Stewart?
No,
I don't
not
think
at
it.
all.
I don't think it would work.
I can't even picture it. He did so perfect.
Okay, I'm just curious
in this that, and I can't, and because he altered the script to make it better, I don't even want to know what the original was, where he looked at it and he was like, I'm not doing this, and he refused the role altogether. Like
So one of the things in the extended cut, because again, there's a lot of the occult. So there's literally a scene where he's talking to Mortiana, and there's an inverted cross and everything else, and he's eating pork ribs off the altar, the unholy altar that has skulls and all of these
Our
things.
kids thought he was a cannibal.
Yeah, we thought he was a cannibal at first because there's skulls in here, and I'm like, oh, he eats, and they're like, oh no, it's a pig, and they're like, okay, cool,
it's fine.
Just disregard the inverted cross, it's fine. Like, and I'm like, it's Satan worshiping, and
it fell over.
And
I'm missing a nile.
No. I mean, I called it what it was. I'm not going to sugarcoat what it was, you know. But he's sitting there, and he's literally like eating this rib, and he smacks the cross. He's like, are you sure? Because at this point he doesn't know that he's the son of Mortiana. He's like, are you sure my parents wanted you to raise me in this nonsense, basically? And she's like, yes, it was their dying wish. And he's just like, literally like, this is bullshit.
That's great.
And he did it in such an amazing way that it was like, oh my gosh, it's so funny.
Well, the fact that like that's a thing in the extended cut, and then you go to Men in Tights, and she's like, you know, through eyeballs of a crocodile, and you know, rotten egg, and blah 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 blah. She's like, well, I'm just your cook. I like
with the omelet that's staring at him.
The other thing that Sammy noticed was
you want a witch? Go get a witch. I'm just your cook.
And there was definitely a blooper.
There you go.
In the director's cut. So in the clip we just heard, the scribe who's saying what's going on. In one of the things, Mortiana's like, go get his tongue and cut out his tongue, and because he keeps bringing bad news, basically. So the sheriff goes and cuts out the scribe's tongue, and you see him like, oh, you can't talk, you don't have a tongue. At the end of the fucking movie, though, because in the original cut,
he's got a tongue back.
He's got his tongue back. And
really?
my 9-year-old was like, wait a minute, he shouldn't have a tongue.
Oh, that's funny.
He should be able to speak. And we're like, damn, kid, like, good call. You're right.
I didn't even notice that. I never noticed that until she said something. So my kid noticed that before me, which is crazy.
Funny.
Yeah, that's definitely your child, 100%.
Oh goodness. Okay. Well, moving away from that, why don't we go ahead and start talking about Maid Marian?
Yes.
We not the clip yet, but like, what do you think about her Mary Elizabeth's portrayal of Maid Marian and their whole? She's beautiful. I fucking love her.
No, I'm gonna agree with you because I loved her in The Abyss.
Yes.
I loved her in Scarface as Tony Montana's sister. Tony Montana's sister.
Montana.
Montana.
Oh, that's the other one. I keep getting that Montana and Montoya confused from Princess Bride. I do.
Yeah.
I get those confused.
I even liked her in The Perfect Storm. She was in The Perfect Storm as a brief role, but she is a very beautiful actress. Robin Wright would have done well, but I was happy with Mary. I thought she did a great job.
I loved her hair.
Yeah.
She's all this fucking hair. And she was beautiful, and I love that she was strong. She could fight for herself.
Yep.
Because she acts as her own bodyguard in the beginning. You know, she
knows how to fucking scream when she says Robin.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I love her scream so much.
Dang.
Yeah. But she
got my attention.
I love the dynamic where she's like, you're just, all I remember is that you're just a spoiled little bully.
Yeah, you pull my hair.
Yep.
Yeah, and so like it was very contemptuous. And then as she sees the way he has evolved from that with his exploits and his stealing,
grown into the man he's become.
Yeah. And she sees his journey. She starts to kind of fall for him.
Yeah,
but
like Robin's kind of hot. Kind of into it.
Kind of hot. She sees him all naked in the waterfall.
That scene killed me. Why? Because of the handmaiden. She's
ma'am.
like, oh.
That reminds me.
My lady, cover your eyes.
Your eyes.
That reminds me of a line. You remember the show Married with Children?
Yeah.
There was a scene where the younger girl, what's the younger girl's, the actress?
Christina Applegate?
Yeah, and her friends were all like, oh, we got the tape for Dances with Wolves or Robin Hood. We get to see Kevin Costner's butt and everything. I remember it was a big joke on TV and stuff like that because I remember he did a whole butt. He liked to show his butt in a lot of movies.
He's got his
nice
butt.
little
I have to admit, though,
it was.
It wasn't.
Yes, it was. When
He said it wasn't.
Okay, so when he's standing in the waterfall
Oh, yeah, you
and
totally
he's pulling
see
up
butt.
his pants, that's his butt.
Yes.
When he's swimming, that is a stunt double.
What?
Swimming is yeah.
When he's swimming, there was a fear of hypothermia for him, so they used a stunt double when he's swimming. But him standing in the waterfall, pulling his pants up, that's him. That's his butt.
Which, by the way, again, watching this with Ian and S, like both of them were just like, and I'm like, I know it's man, but they're just like giggle, 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 giggle. It was so free. But
I mean, he was probably my first man butt, and I can appreciate
what
it.
killed me was S was like, why is he so pale?
This is girl talk right here.
Pale? And I was like, well, he's got it covered. He gets
in
tan.
England. He's English. They don't get tan.
There's a distinct line where his pants are.
It's the tan, the tan lines from Dances with
I
Wolves
know.
when he was in this.
I know.
That's
It
hilarious.
cracked me up, though. But it was. All I
That-
hear is both girls just.
That is a funny. I know this Dance with the Wolves.
Keep bringing it up.
It's just a funny scene though, because remember he's with the Indian.
Are
he
you
runs
checking
off.
my facts?
Are you looking up Kevin Costner's ass?
That's what she does.
That's what I
Checking
do.
my facts. She checks her
That's
facts.
what I
You
fucking
really are looking up Kevin Costner's ass.
Don't judge
This is
me.
a chick podcast.
Oh shit.
We will look up. We saw Henry Cavill's junk earlier.
Good. Could I bring it back up?
Yes, you
'Cause
may.
Holy shit.
Yes,
balls.
you may.
All right.
That
Well,
was
thank you for
every
having me a
episode.
part of your show. It was
Are you-
really
are
good.
you leaving? Are you
I'm just
done?
kidding. No, I'm good.
Our raging chick bunners. Are you done?
It's about to get.
Hey, we talk about
worse.
tits and ass all the time on our show. So
I mean,
Oh, this is where I wanted to go.
it's
I
just
know. I saw
Ridiculous.
It. Was it control?
Emphasis on the
it's,
dick.
It's awesome.
Oh, there it is.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yen.
What?
wow.
Yeah.
What?
Stop checking my facts so we can move on. There you go.
You just
Let me
started smiling.
paw at it. Let me just stroke the screen.
If he came to your front door and you opened the door and it was Henry
Fall fucking
Cavill,
down,
you jump him, wouldn't you?
dude.
No, I'm still married.
I would jump him, and I don't think Ragnar would be mad at
Oh,
it.
you're saying that he doesn't give you like a one pass?
I would hug him
Climb
very
him
aggressively.
like a tree.
No, that's a rule. Every couple always gives like a free pass. What's it called?
A
hall pass.
A hall
A
pass.
hall pass. I figured that would have been yours.
We have never discussed
Hall
hall
passes?
passes.
Oh, me and my wife have done that many times.
I already know.
Ragnar's
Because he
is Carmen
doesn't.
Electra.
He would not claim
Jennifer
to have
Connelly.
one.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Margot Robbie?
No, because I gave you a choice between Sherry Moon Zombie
Oh, yeah.
and Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah.
And you threw Connelly over so fucking fast.
I love Sherry
for
Moon
Sherry
Zombie.
Moon Zombie.
Yes.
Because I was like, gun to your head. I can't pick. You have to. He's like, Sherry Moon Zombie. I go, ha! I knew it.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
No, I think I have asked my husband about this before. And
Who's mine?
Tom Hardy.
Oh. I don't think he actually ever gave me anybody.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So therefore, if he cannot produce one, and therefore
Yeah.
I am not allowed to have one.
It's time to have a discussion with Garrett. Am I allowed to say his name?
Yeah, I think so. I think I've said it
Yeah,
before.
no, it's,
Oh,
it's
okay.
on the show.
It's fine.
Shit. I thought I was about to get a punishment shot.
I mean, if you really want one.
I would have Henry come in and we'd have coffee and talk,
About his dick.
but I wouldn't touch.
Like,
I'd hug him.
he's
play
showing
video
it
games.
on the cover of Rolling Stone.
As he should. It's lovely.
I'm surprised you haven't bought that
Lovely.
issue yet.
I don't buy magazines.
I screenshot it. No, I mean,
Put it on your phone wallpaper?
It's her,
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's your phone
It's
wallpaper.
her secret wallpaper.
Yeah.
I am not going to deny.
Nor affirm
It happens.
such things.
So moving on from Henry Cavill's
I could've
dick. I'm sorry.
sworn.
Can we play the clip? Marion.
How is it that a once arrogant young nobleman has found contentment living rough with the salt of the earth?
I've seen knights in armor panic at the first hint of battle. And I've seen the lowliest unarmed squire pull a spear from his own body to defend a dying horse. Nobility is not a birthright. It's defined by one's actions.
It's interesting to hear you say that.
I didn't. My father did.
Did the Holy Quest erase your hatred of him?
I don't know. All I know is that our last words in this world were spoken in anger. I was lost after my mother died. My father, too, and for a short time he found comfort in the arms of another woman, a peasant woman. I thought he was betraying my mother's memory.
So he gave her up?
For the love of a 12-year-old boy who would never forgive him.
It's not just you, it's the way it was recorded.
Anyway, who says I'm content? I have my plans for the future.
No. A grander scheme than this?
No, a simpler one. A home, a family, love.
No, men speak conveniently of love when it serves their purpose.
I love that
And when
line.
it doesn't, is a burden to them.
Mm-hmm.
Robin of the Hood, Prince of Thieves. Is he capable of love?
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's such a good dialogue.
I have an update.
So now that we're post clip, Yen, where are you at?
I'm sorry to backtrack.
No, it's okay.
However, I have found it said that Kevin Costner was too embarrassed to film his nude scene in front of Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio.
Mastrantonio.
Yeah, that one. So he used a butt double instead.
Oh, interesting. I did not read that.
Oh.
Apparently he ran into the same situation in
Dances with Wolves?
Dances with Wolves. And also used a butt double in that one as well.
Oh, so it's not his butt on either one. No Costner butts.
That is too Kevin Costner's butt because you see his face on the side.
Is it terrible that part of me?
That's just editing.
No. I am not going to go watch that scene again because that makes me look creepy. I'm just saying.
I mean, you could.
I need to be sure. Is it Costner's butt?
Yeah, that's. I'm done
Is
talking
that how
about
we're-
this.
is that
Let's,
how
let's
we're
move
gonna-
on.
Is that how we're going to
Well,
rank
I'm
it
gonna
down?
send this to you.
Here you
I'll
go.
send it to you if
How
you
many
want.
Costner butts? 5?
We can use Costner butts.
Costner butts.
All right. That's the thing. That's what we're ranking with today. Are you ready for it, Ron? Later on.
We're ranking it with Costner butts.
That's the thing.
are.
Are you serious?
Yes.
And I got to
Yes.
do that?
Yes.
We're updating because
Oh, God.
because Mouse got to get
Why did
arrows,
you do this for Ragnar?
flaming arrows. But we're going to update it to Costner butts.
Yes.
For the remainder, just because this is too good.
It's too fun
to cut.
Wow.
Oh, but apparently maybe he did it in Waterworld.
Oh, well, all right.
I mean, he drank his own pee in Waterworld.
Did he have his
He
butt
didn't,
show in
he didn't show his
Waterworld?
ass in Waterworld.
I don't think he did.
So why was the Waterworld star okay with showing his backside in one movie and not in that? What?
That's a different act. That's the actress. That's an actress
Yeah,
showed her ass.
she gets completely.
Something
I don't know.
Apple.
I think maybe he did show it in Waterworld. Not Waterworld. Shit.
Dance with Wolves.
Dance with Wolves.
Yeah,
But it
I
was-
think Dance with Wolves was him because I remember it showing him from the side face looking over his back
but
and
it
forth.
said it was because he didn't want to show his backside in front of his Robin Hood co-star, the woman. And
Oh,
then
Mary.
also that they provided him possibly with more money for Dances with Wolves.
They do offer
I
more
mean,
money to show,
this had a low budget, so.
but they
Yeah.
do
Relatively
offer more money to show. Just
If
like
they have
paid
nudity, like in there.
Halle Berry to show $10,000 per tit to show it in the movie Swordfish, and then she went like all out in Monsters Ball, which was like barely any budget, which is weird.
Yeah.
But they paid her that money just to show her tits off.
maybe she
She's
felt
got
more.
a beautiful set. I'm not saying.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she felt more
She
connected to
does.
one film over the other.
Yeah.
You never know.
She's a hottie.
Well, Monsters Ball, she got the Oscar.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Very strong sex scene between her and Billy Bob Thornton.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I can't imagine Billy Bob in a sex scene. Oh.
Really? Fuck me,
No.
Santa. Fuck me, Santa. Fuck
No,
me,
no,
Santa.
no,
I mean,
like
it's
that-
there.
No, but that's
I don't know what you're talking about.
but that's okay. That's like comedic, and I don't take it seriously. But like a sex, like I don't know, maybe
Like
an
an
It's got-
actual,
it's got
like
your
a
boy-
romantic one.
It's got your boy Heath Ledger in it.
Wow, I like me some Heath.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a very depressing
There's-
movie, but it's good.
Is there a sex scene with him in it?
No.
Damn.
Yeah, there is, but you don't.
You
see
got to
anything.
go to
Why would-
what's it called?
Why do we? how do we get there?
Brokeback Mountain.
I'm so glad you're here, Ron. Thanks for joining us on this show.
Oh yeah, this is wonderful. Talking about man ass and Kevin
Yeah.
Costner's
Cowboy
butt,
sex.
cowboy sex.
How did
and
we get here?
I have to admit though, the score to Brokeback.
At least I
was
popped in
beautiful.
Halle Berry in there.
you.
Yeah. Where were we before we? Oh, we just played the clip.
Yeah.
Marion. We were talking about
Marion.
Marion.
I wanted to, what do you guys think of Marion?
No, I like I said, I think I already said, as an actress, she's great, but I thought that she pulled it off really well. She was a very innocent type. She was a very tough, a tougher Marion character because there's been so many different Marion characters. Kate Blanchett did it in the other Robin Hood. You had, what's her name? Breakfast at Tiffany's girl. Audrey Hepburn as Marion. But in my opinion, this is the best rendition of Marion out of all the Robin Hoods, because there's a shitload of Robin Hood movies just like Peter Pan movies.
Yen disagrees.
I'm still here with Robin Hood Men in Tights, Marion.
Oh, her? She's a hottie, the redhead.
Yasmin? Or what is it? Elspeth or something? I can't remember. She's got a weird little name. I don't remember. Yeah.
She was also in Dracula Dead and Loving It, I believe, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yes.
She was in that, and she was also in The Mask
Marion.
in a brief role.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought she was good. The Elizabeth, whatever her name is, Mary Elizabeth.
Master Tino.
No.
Whatever it is.
Master Antonio.
Master Antonio.
Master Antonio.
She's going to punish Miss Chuck if you don't stop.
Hey, I can't do that for this
Say it
show.
again. No, I can. Say it again.
I'm not saying it again.
Mary Elizabeth.
Yes. That's why I'll just call her that.
Annie.
Mary Elizabeth.
The
bitch.
The only thing that I felt
The abyss.
Not in this movie.
was a little bit could have been better was the chemistry between Robin Hood and her, especially when they kissed. I mean, maybe that was him. Maybe that was his issue and not her. Did you watch the kissing scenes? And did you?
Is he like Richard Gere? Is he a weird kisser?
What is this Richard Gere kissing thing?
It's a thing.
Oh, he's a terrible kisser. He's a weird kisser.
He's a very
Kevin Costner's
energetic kisser because in First Night, he was like a really like that first kiss with Julie Orman. It was.
He's going to eat somebody's face. Is
Yeah.
what it is. But no, Kevin Costner, I think Kevin Costner when he kisses, it's more like old school romance. The way like it's just kind of
Peck on the lip and that's it.
Yeah,
It was a lot of like,
No tongue.
no, absolutely
When?
not.
No
No.
time.
Well, I
There
mean,
was
it's
none
a
of
different
that.
time. They're not going to be like,
And it was just
in
like-
that time.
I don't know. Either way, it did not make me feel like they had a romantic connection.
Oh,
Okay.
you mean at the end when he rescues her and they're like
I mean,
on their
that-
knees?
You're
And
saying that there
then-
was no chemistry between them?
I didn't feel it. No.
Really?
Oh,
No.
I disagree.
Yeah,
thought that
I
they-
disagree
thought
on
that
that
they
too.
had
I think they
something.
had great chemistry together, especially when they were talking right after he gave her back her brother's ring, and she was very sad. And everything. I thought it was between both of them. They just did really well together, and especially in that scene that you just showed right here.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought the
why
chemistry was good.
That's why I picked that clip is because I like them kind of just reconnecting and talking and finding soft moments with each
The
other.
best scene, and this is me going to be all girly here. I'm going to say it. No,
gosh, here
I'm
we
going to
go.
say it because I think it's a very romantic scene. The scene when she's on the boat and she's with Duncan and says that I may be blind, but I know what
Oh,
He
being in love with
fancies
you.
you.
he
Yeah.
fancies you, and you just see them both going off. I thought that was a very
Staring at
beautiful
each
with
other.
the music. It was
well,
a
when
very
he
beautiful
asks
scene.
her to send the thing, and she's like, I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
You know? And then that's the whole song.
And then you hear that whole score with the rendition of that song. It's just to me that was a very beautifully made scene.
Her song in the music is super beautiful. I really like her theme.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoy Marion. I enjoy Mary Elizabeth. There's I everything I've seen her in, I've really enjoyed her in. I think she's a really, really talented actress.
Yeah.
And she's just so fucking striking. Like when she's just smiling, I think she's a very striking human being.
Very innocent looking, in my opinion.
Moving on to somebody else, Will Scarlett, Christian Slater. He is an interesting little character.
Rise in the 90s too. This is what his
All I'm thinking of is Men in Tights when he gets shot. What part of
Will
Georgia are
Scarlett
you
O'Hara.
from?
So that was the guy that was
from
doing Will
Georgia.
Scarlett in the Men in Tights.
Yes.
The one
Yeah,
with,
the daggers.
I completely forgot about it. I got to watch that again. I mean, I watched
Oh,
it
it's
before.
so good. It's so funny.
It's funny.
I think that the casting choices, because Christian Slater was really huge in the early 90s.
Yeah.
True Romance, so many fucking movies. Interview with the
Did you
Vampire.
ever see Broken Arrow?
Yeah.
With him and John Travolta?
Yeah,
I
that's a
enjoyed
John
that
Woo
one.
film. That's a John Woo film that I can actually watch and enjoy, but I really do not like his films. Most of his films suck, in my opinion.
I loved Face Off.
Everybody loves Face Off. I don't know why everybody's so
Watched it
big
with
on
my
that
dad. I liked it.
movie. No, but Christian Slater is. I think he's a decent actor, and I think that him as Will Scarlett, I think he did it really well, and I love that little poem he does about crossing the river.
Oh, there was
Sheriff
a young man from
Nottingham
Nottingham.
who tried to cross the river.
Yeah.
What a dope. He tripped on a rope.
Now look at him shiver. Yeah.
I
thought that
that
was really
memorized as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he was good as a little snot-nosed brat, which is what he was.
He was. He played it well.
And until he decides to put his faith into Robin and confesses that is, I'm your brother. And, and that's where all the animosity came from is, he essentially blaming him for ruining his life when, he
Robin
didn't.
had no die.
No,
he had no idea.
it wasn't intentional,
Yeah. Sorry, excuse me.
I think if he had known all that, it would have been very different. But yeah, I do. I think Will was a fun little character. If you want to play the clip of Will real quick, where they are
catapulting
Azim and
very quick clip.
and Robin over the Bailey.
Fuck me, he cleared it.
Yeah, he's
super short.
That was ad-libbed, right?
That was ad-libbed by
Yeah.
him. He made that up, and
it's the only fuck in the movie.
Well, no, that was normal.
Well, yes.
Well, the thing was
For PG, that's back then.
PG-13.
Ooh, hello.
Yeah, well, the
was PG-13.
director,
Oh, okay.
like, he's like that. Nobody would have said that back then, so he was going to take it out. But he thought it was really funny,
Yeah.
so he kept it in.
It's a funny juxtaposition. It really is.
Well, that's a very big known thing right now. PG-13's been getting away with putting more F words in it. Shit, the American President has like 5 or 6 for a PG-13 movie, but in the early 90s, a lot of movies got away with doing one F word, and that was that one F word where they try and make it like iconic in a certain. No, it's just trying to put like one F word inside of a movie like that, and I thought that was a good.
It was funny.
Good fuck to use.
Well, one of the things with Christian Slater in this movie is Morgan Freeman taught him archery.
Taught Kevin Costner?
No, Christian
Christian
Slater.
Slater.
Morgan Freeman taught Christian Slater how to shoot bow and arrow.
Wow, I did not know that at all.
That's how he said he learned and he mastered it from Morgan Freeman on the set.
Wow.
That's cool.
Which I think is a kind of cool thing.
That is cool.
Yes.
I didn't even know Morgan Freeman knew how to do archery.
Surprise!
Morgan Freeman's
He does
the man.
it in the thing.
Yeah, no, but he shoots the gunpowder or the bomb,
Yeah.
which fucking awesome.
Gunpowder bearers.
That was a good scene.
That fucking scene when he's like at the thing and he's messing around with
Messing
it,
with the gunpowder?
and the friar, the gunpowder, and then the
Yeah.
friar tuck, and then it shows Robin talking, and then you just hear a bomb again. You hear friar tuck.
Whoa!
Yeah. Fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Well, I mean, Azim again. If you go back to him, he's always calling him Sadiq, which means friend or one who is trustworthy. So
See, I didn't know that. I was
Yeah.
curious about that. What that meant. So I'm glad you brought that up.
That's what that means. And he's constantly basically like they had that affirmed friendship very early on, and it just became, even when he's at the end, and he's like, I have fulfilled my vows, Sadiq. Like it's just like. He's always had that connection with him, and I loved their friendship as it grew.
Do you
And they
feel like
became
this
more-
was a good like buddy movie? Would you consider this a buddy movie?
I wouldn't necessarily consider it a buddy movie, but I loved their dynamic.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think
Yeah.
it was the focus of the movie.
It wasn't, but
but
their
there's
chemistry
there's a buddy element.
Yeah.
Yes.
Their chemistry just was really funny and worked out really well. And
Oh, yeah, they played
really
off each other
Played off, yeah,
fantastic.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like almost like a buddy movie. Like I could put that in the same genre right there.
Yes. So, with Marion, she leaves in the boat and goes back to where to her home to go and write King Richard about what's going on. And because the sheriff has spies everywhere, he discovers it through the friar or through the priest.
Yeah.
And
The corrupt priest.
ends up taking custody of Marion, and Duncan escapes back to tell them that she's been taken, and ends up leading the sheriff's men and the Celts, the hired thugs, to go and destroy the village, to kill Robin and everybody. And in that whole thing, it's just like, it's a lot of action, and I think it's very well done.
Yeah.
With the fire in the tree, they're like the trees are they're supposed to be their escape, but they never thought, somebody's going to set this shit on fire, and then we're fucked.
Yeah.
But I really think it was just is super exciting the way the whole thing is done.
Real quick. I don't know if you're going to bring her up, but what was her name? Fanny?
Yeah, Fanny was Little John's woman.
Little John's wife. I loved her.
She was great.
You know who she reminded
Mama
me
Bear.
of? You know who she reminded me of? You. Be like, I've had 8 kids, and I'm not going to see one of them hung. fuck that shit. Just tell me where I'm showing up. And like, you know, and,
You're not keeping me
and of
back
course,
at the
Little,
house.
you know, John Little's like, no, you're murr. And
Yeah.
Robin's like, cool, you're over here.
Yeah.
Like, it was
You
like,
should bloody well mind the other 7. Yeah, okay.
Legitimately, I saw that. I was like, that reminds me of Snoo.
I'll cut a bitch.
Like, honestly, like,
Yeah.
I know I just dropped a baby. I got to go save my other one.
Yeah. Like, it's nothing gonna stop me now.
Mhm.
I got my kids. I will protect them with my life. So, well, okay. So that kind of threw me something that my
sorry.
brain's going down a rabbit hole. But have you seen like the videos of these women who are being interviewed and they're like, oh, would you kill for your kids? And they're like, I don't know. Like, have you seen these? And they're
No.
literally like hesitating or like, kill somebody? Like a person? And I'm like, dude, I would literally do anything to myself for my children. I would jump in front of a train.
Mm-hmm.
I would run off a building. I would walk through fire to save my kids.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm willing to do that to myself, you don't think I'm willing to do that to another fucking human being? I will murder you and smile while I'm doing it if you hurt my babies.
Yes.
So like it just kind of that threw me off on a little tangent.
Well, this world has turned into a very
Yeah, like, oh, you mean hurt somebody else just to protect this child that I created with my
that
body?
is self-defense. That is self-defense.
Don't mess with
period.
Don't mess with the babies.
Yeah.
No, and that's
No.
entirely Fanny. She's fantastic. She's actually not in my notes, but I do love her very much.
Okay, I'm glad I brought her up then because
No.
she was definitely like
Yeah, I was curious if you knew who she was. I'm gonna
She-
look that up.
The actress, I didn't take her name down. This is a very, very large, like immense cast, and I
Yeah.
couldn't get everybody.
No, and I loved her because again, she was pinnacle. And I know you're going to get to this, but in Friar Tuck and Azim's dynamic changing
because of her childbirth scene.
Because of her childbirth scene.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure that we noted Fanny because I really liked Fanny.
No, Fanny was great, and that is a really like beautiful little scene there where she goes into labor, but the baby can't be born
because it's breached or something. It's turned wrong.
Turned wrong, and the friar, he can't do anything about it. And he's like, we just need to pray about it.
Yeah.
But Azim's sitting there and he's like,
I know it's on horses.
Yeah, I've seen it done. I think he turned the baby, is what I'm assuming he did.
He may have.
I don't think.
No, he did
I
C-section.
think he couldn't have.
I don't know if he
couldn't have C-section
because
she
she
would
would
not have bounced
He said
back.
needles and thread.
But that's to sew up like when you're your
cutting
machine.
things?
Well, I was
Like-
wondering
All right,
maybe
well,
not.
No,
not a
because she
cesarean.
would not have survived
What about
a
like an
cesarean.
episiotomy though situation?
That is what it would have been.
Yeah.
Is that
Okay,
she tore
I
the liver.
thought it was a C-section.
Because also,
I
if he's
misspoke. I
putting
didn't
his
mean
hands
cesarean.
in to
Yeah,
turn,
you gotta have room.
so there's going to be tearing.
Yeah.
And that's what the needle and thread is for. She would never have survived a cesarean in
No.
the 1400s.
No.
Like, there's no way.
You die from
I
infection.
understand what you're saying, but from the looks of it,
I
is
misspoke.
that
I was like,
Azim
"Ooh."
from the Muslim culture, they probably had better
Good
medical
Lord.
compared to what England had. So
Okay, his training maybe, but they didn't have any
well, he
sort
didn't
of
have any
equipment or
training.
medication.
He said that he saw it many times when he done on a horse.
On a horse,
Yes.
but they're not going to do a
They're also
C-section
not gonna-
on a horse.
They're not going to do a C-section on
They're
a
going
horse.
to
They would have
stick
turned
their
the baby.
hands up in the horse and rotate the calf.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
horse.
Yeah.
or
I didn't know. I
I'm
thought
thinking cow. Sorry.
Realized like a couple of days later, she's up and running.
Yeah.
So,
there was
and that's
no
not
way.
just adrenaline. That
That's
is, you can't
true.
do that with a C-section.
That's true.
Let me go grab some penicillin.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh wait, it hasn't been invented
Oh
yet.
yeah. That. Well, somebody give me some meat.
Yes.
Just sprinkle some of that on there.
So, what did you guys think of? Let's go into the final fight with when they go after, you know, their whole village has been torn down. Everybody's been taken hostage. They're going to kill Wolf, who we didn't touch on, but Wolf, their Little John's son with Fanny.
I thought, that whole scene right there.
Yeah.
I thought was great. I loved how they brought Azim as like a leper to hide him and everything else, and he was
So
trying
they
to.
can't see his skin.
And yeah, with Friar Tuck, I really, really enjoyed that when they're about to be hung, and Little John just rams himself right into the fucking what would you call them? The
hanging
the
hang posts.
Braces?
the hanging post or whatever they're like.
Yeah.
Rams right in because I think Friar Tuck, him being a big guy, he was trying to
Gallows,
push
the
it.
gallows.
He couldn't get gallows. Yeah, trying to get it. And then Little John just when he saw that his son was about to die, he was like started to push that thing.
Yeah,
and all of them survived.
he jumped off that wall.
Yeah.
He went across the Bailey. He got through the people, and he knocked that bitch down.
You know what?
Like,
That's what happens when like a
Yeah.
mom sees her kid under a car and like
Yeah.
lifts that shit. shit.
Yeah.
That's just pure adrenaline.
No, yeah, it was done. I thought the whole thing, the action sequence was really, really great. And what did you guys think of Little John?
Little John was
As a
great.
whole.
Little John, I mean, just like when we talked about him in the fight scene at the river, I thought he was a great character. He pulled it off really well, and he was hilarious.
Yeah.
I love that the campfire scene. That was actually one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Is the campfire scene especially when they said, "Do you not let?" I forgot the line when he was giving the mead and he skipped over Azim.
Yeah,
and he says, "He is my friend," and it says, "Well, he's a savage, sire." It says.
No more than you or I.
Yes, exactly.
And don't call me sire.
I thought that whole thing right there, the wolf up inside the tree, and then you see fucking the Will Scarlet getting all pissy and walking away.
Yeah.
He's
And
full of piss and blood or piss and wind. Piss and wind.
Piss and wind.
Was it piss and wind or something like that?
And Little John's going, this is the best that we can expect. So here we're free. And
this is
that's
our
what they thought.
kingdom.
They thought that was the best, but then Robin Hood showed them that they could live better, and which is very, very good.
I thought he did a great job.
Yeah.
He did a fucking great job. And I also, the chemistry between him and Fanny were really good, which I found the actress. The actress, she's been in Doctor Who TV series, The Gift. She's not really in that many movies, actually.
Yeah, in The Gift?
The Gift. That
Yes.
sounds familiar.
Her name
It's
is
a psychological thriller. I think.
That's a weird name. SOO.
Can I see it?
Sue.
Yeah, is that another version of Sue?
Sue Druet.
Yeah.
Sue Druet.
Yeah.
Is she
SOODROUET. Sue Druet.
I'm trying to see if she's been in anything else that I've seen before, but I thought she did great for what she did. I thought she was great at his wife, and they were really dedicated to each other, especially when Robin Hood saved her inside the burning tree.
Yeah.
And Little John was across and couldn't get to her. It just showed how much Robin Hood cared about all these people.
Yes.
You know, he wasn't
He
gonna
wasn't
run
selfish.
off. He wasn't
Yeah.
exactly, which everybody thought he was in the beginning, selfish and cocky, but he actually really cared.
Yeah.
But this is the thing that I had a problem with is in the beginning when he was getting everybody to get together I thought that he was being selfish and doing that just to get his revenge at first. That it wasn't, and even Azim was noticing it, that he was using these people, but I think he learned a lesson and he wasn't, and he really cared for them.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
Well,
I see where you get that because he's like, do not use these people for your own purposes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think also a small part of it may have been wanting revenge. I think a big part of it also is that he had seen all kinds of trauma done to innocents in the Crusades.
Yeah.
And then seeing it on his homeland, he wanted to fight.
Yep.
I think that might have been a big part of it too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I remember post that scene when when they're doing the burials. He's sitting there and he's like, their blood's basically on his
It's my
hands.
fault. My pride led us to this. Yeah.
So I think that definitely, I mean, it was a huge character arc. A huge character arc for Robin and his growth into the selfless like hero character.
Yeah.
Versus, and I think that maybe that was the turning point for Will to rally too. Like it was pinnacle.
Because that's where
point.
he sees him is he's come there with the intention of killing him, but then immediately sees him tending to the dead.
Yep.
And I think that's the turning point for Will Scarlet.
Yeah.
Where he's like, okay, I'm going to trust you with my secret, which is that we're blood. Yeah. And I'm putting my faith in you to fix this.
The best part of that fucking scene is Azim's speech.
Right. Which we can go. Okay, let's go ahead and go for it.
I am not one of you, but I fight. I fight with Robin Hood. I fight against the tyrant who holds you under his boot. If you would be free men, then you must fight. Join us now. Join Robin Hood. Freedom! Come on now! Come on! Come on!
Yep, that's.
Was this a Ron request clip or something?
No, this is my clip,
But
and
no,
he
you
jumped the gun.
No, because I was
Yes.
going to say that when you asked what was your favorite about that scene, and that was actually one of my favorite of that scene.
We weren't even in that scene. That scene is in the Bailey, and we're talking about the graveyard.
Yeah.
You asked about the big fight scene at the end of the movie at the gallows.
Yes, but we went backwards.
I'm confused.
I'm confused also.
This is not after the gallows scene?
That is after the gallows scene, but we were just talking about the graves in Robin Hood and Scarlet.
Oh, so
and
I
then you're like,
changed back to it.
then Azim. And let's go and listen to that clip that I know
apologize.
that you picked.
You want me to take a fucking spin of the wheel? I'll spin the wheel.
No.
Will that make you feel better?
No.
Give me the wheel. I'll spin it.
Well, for what?
No.
I was being nice.
What'd you think of
Derailing
Friar
the train?
Tuck?
Friar Tuck was great.
Friar Tuck was my favorite character.
Yeah?
Really?
Okay, why?
Because he was the funniest.
He was a
You
tough
were in this shit
bastard,
for the
too.
comedy. You
I
thought Friar
wanted
Tuck
that
was
funny.
funnier
No,
than Alan Rickman?
I didn't mind Alan Rickman's character. I think he did a very good job of playing what he had to play, but I just found Friar Tuck more almost surprising. Like I loved how, there were a couple moments where you thought he was going along with it, and then like he turned and like kicked Robin in the face and then tried to run away.
Went to bite him in the leg.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
I loved it. I loved it.
He's like a rabid dog.
Yeah, it's like, all right, you got
And then what happens? He's got the horse chalk on him, and he's walking the wine barrels. Thank you, God, for teaching me humility.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much. Which I have to admit, I did love that. When he would be sanctimonious, when he would be pompous, and then he would have these God stumbling blocks in his face, including the one with Azim.
Yes,
where he said the line. He goes, "I thought I was holy, but I wasn't worldly," or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was him being like, wow, I thought I knew everything because I'm a godly man. And meanwhile, there was no hubris in it, which goes against what it should be.
This was right after he delivered the baby, right?
Yes.
Yes.
No, the thing I loved about him is when he went against the other
priest.
the other priest that was
Which is what I was just
Here's
about to
all
get
your
to.
money.
I was just about to get to the priest and their dynamic, because then you have the priest who is completely corrupted.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
And
Bad,
then
bad.
Friar Tuck's confrontation with him, and he's like, you sold your soul. And
He's like, here's more gold. And here's even more.
what is it? The 30 pieces of silver to
Yep.
pay the devil. And that's what Judas Iscariot
Yep.
was paid. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
It was so
Touché.
It was so well
I didn't even
written.
care that he killed him, because apparently that would be wrong for them. But the fact is that he was a tough guy, and the fact that he was with his faith, I thought that was really cool that he pushed a corrupt man out of there, because that guy was making it harder for everybody else. I mean, the priest going with the sheriff's plans to
course he
become
was.
king
He
and
was
stuff like
literally
that.
complicit
It was
in
all
a
money.
rape.
It was all money.
Like,
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
No,
he was standing there watching her be raped.
Yep.
Like, luckily it didn't go through, but it was going to happen, and he was just standing there.
Yeah.
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 You know.
No.
And that
no,
that
not
shot
okay.
Trying to sanctify it with marriage,
Yeah,
with a sham marriage.
totally.
Yeah.
And his look, like when you see the body of the priest on the bottom, it just shows up at the top. And you just look at him, he's just got this mean face. It's like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
You're
you
dead.
deserve
I know,
it.
and I love that all the people are like, gold.
Yeah.
Hey, don't mind the dead guy.
Yeah.
Gold.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay, so then what do you think about Mortiana?
I thought she did. I think she played the character very well.
Yeah.
It was, and again, in the extended, where you find out that the sheriff is actually her biological son. That because what ends up happening is he finds out that she's been watching his like having sex, all of that. She's been peeking in on a window. He goes down. Oh, I don't. Yeah.
Okay.
She has an eye hole basically in his wall, and he sees a draft from it one night when he's drunk. Once he's like he's gotten the gold back, all of that. He's kind of high on life because he thinks that he's won. This is right after everything happened.
Is this in a cut or was this?
This is the extended cut.
I was like, I don't
This is when he finds out about him, her being his mother.
This is right after Sherwood Forest has burnt. Basically, he's gotten
The
his
Celts did their job.
Yeah, exactly. He's gotten his blood money back. He's able to buy off who he needs to. He's gonna be able to put his thing on the throne. He's just hanging out with his
Getting
horse.
drunk with his
he's hanging out
slut
with his
girls, and
horse,
running around the bed half
everything.
naked.
And Mortiana is watching him through a peephole, basically in the wall. And he realizes it. He finds the draft and he goes down. He's like, that witch has been watching me like Defoe. And so he goes down there to confront her. And basically he's like, how dare you? And that is when she reveals to him, because he's basically
I carried you inside my womb.
He's basically like, I'm gonna snuff this bitch. And he's like, well, I'm your mom. I bore you. When I gave life to you, I went and I got another babe, and I killed the other babe so that you could live in this castle and be raised into the position that you're in, so that I could have my grandchild put on the throne. Because she was like,
so she was playing the long game.
Oh yeah. She's like, I was viewed as a freak. I was this. I was outcast. I was da 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 da. Like, you find out she has a whole ulterior motive.
Right.
Yeah, that's why it was a more darker cut.
A seer for him, and being like, yeah, because he's obsessed with his own, like, I'm going to succeed, and you're predicting I'm going to succeed, and that's why like she's terrified of Azim, because she knows Azim is the bringer of her death and the bringer of their destruction, which is why she's like, oh, it's the
man in the
what I can't remember exactly how she phrases it, but yeah, like she knows.
She says something about like the man in the painting.
The painted man.
The painted man.
The painted man.
Yeah, and he says that he haunts my dreams.
Yeah,
He
so
haunts
that's
my
Azim.
dreams.
And
Yeah.
it's because he's colored.
Yeah.
And
not the dots on his face.
No, painted as in his skin is dark.
Yeah, he's dark.
Yeah.
She said that he haunts my dreams.
Yeah.
Kill him for me, please. Kill him.
Yeah.
And then they confront each other, which I love that whole confrontation between her and Azim.
I think watching the director's cut, it did give a lot more dark, the dark storyline, a lot more like.
It filled in a couple more plot holes.
It really did. So it made, again, the character more complex.
Yes.
And like
More
I said, it's only like 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes long.
But it's like a juicy
10
minutes.
It is. Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
It explains a little bit more. It's worth it.
Okay, cool.
It is definitely worth watching.
What did you think when Azim finally kills her and he like throws his
Oh, I
Cyrus
fucking
and
loved
sword
it.
into her chest and you just hear it go like squishy,
Yeah.
jello, and then do you remember?
I don't remember the sound
It does.
specifically. No.
It makes a squishy like.
Yep.
It makes a gaping chest wound
Yeah,
sound.
it's kind of. And it just like wiggles in her chest while she's laying on the ground.
Well, when the sheriff is
by her dead son.
Well, when the sheriff is trying to rape Marion and everything in that scene, and she's
He
just up there.
Does he fart?
She goes like she makes like a weird noise.
Well, yeah, she's excited that everything she's been planning is about to happen.
Yeah.
But no, like when he goes to like spread her legs, you can hear a fart. A clear fart.
What?
Oh, no, I didn't hear that.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. I've
That's-
heard it every single time I've watched the movie, and it makes
What,
me
Mary
giggle.
farts?
No.
So one of them farts.
I have to
from
know.
the pressure
There's no
of moving
way.
the legs.
I have to now rewatch this movie
It is.
solely for that
It's
Are you
purpose.
sure it's not the sound of the shoes?
And it's like a clear little it's like a little and it's so clear that it can't be anything else.
So you just want to say it's a fart. It might not even be a fart, but it's probably you just want
Watch it and tell me it's not a fart.
It's
is
not
all I'm
a
saying.
watched this movie like a million times. I'll watch it again just to listen to that scene.
Just watch that one scene right at the end before he comes through the window when she goes, "Ee!" and then you hear a and it's
Jesus Christ.
Are you sure it's not Marion's shoes on the floor
Or
as
the-
he
or the
spreads
sheriff's
the
I
legs?
mean, it
Scraping?
sounds like a little toot is all I'm saying.
Okay.
Wow. Wow.
I think
You know what? Maybe
the
one of them
sound
had
mixer missed it.
Maybe one of them had a chimichanga for lunch. You don't know.
But if you'd think somebody would have heard that when they were watching it and be like, we got to cut that.
Oh no, there's been
Maybe
farts
not.
in movies before. Accidental farts. There's been many accidental farts that have been kept in movies. There's
I don't
a
know.
lot
I'm
of accidents.
totally gonna rewatch the scene now because I have to
Dude,
know.
before I leave, you need to like just pull up that little, and then you're gonna hear that, and you're gonna be like, oh, okay. I
There's
get why you think it's a fart.
there's like weird stuff that they leave in movies that they forgot about.
Yeah.
Like there's a scene. All right, this has nothing to do with Robin Hood, but like Back to the Future Part 3. There's the two kids that when he comes back on the little train that comes back, Doc Brown on the train thing. You see the two kids. One of the kids is standing up, and the camera's just focused on him. Takes his finger and is pointing at his crotch because he has to go to the bathroom.
I've seen that before. Yeah.
Yeah. And they left that in the movie. They didn't take that out. It's
That's
a
funny.
very weird scene, but also another scene in like Teen Wolf where a guy has his dick out.
Wait, what?
Oh, that's right in the stands.
Yeah, in the stands.
where?
In Teen Wolf, there's a guy with his dick out in the stands that they were filming, and they left that in the movie.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
Wow.
he just had his pants completely unzipped and his dick hanging out.
It's fine.
That's funny.
some things make it in the movies. They don't even notice it while they're editing it. So a fart could have happened.
That's funny. Yeah, I really think I want now because you guys didn't hear it. I kind of want your opinion to see if you think it sounds like a fart, because I totally think it sounds like a fart.
You find it? Did you find it?
Oh, I like.
Oh, you mean when we
You should have asked me to pull a clip from it.
I mean, I wasn't expecting to talk about the little toot. So,
Was it in your notes?
No.
Oh.
No.
So it was just brought up out of the blue.
Yeah, we were talking about the rape, and then
I could just see that in your bullet points. Mary
Little
or
toot.
Alan Rickman's fart.
Little toot. Well, one of the things in that last fight scene, they had 10 different swords for Loxley's sword, all varying like lengths and weights and stuff for the wielding. But that fight scene, Alan Rickman ended up breaking 10. Like
the swords?
He broke 10 swords. Like they had 10 different but he just broke so many because they were fighting so hard on all of the, the stone and stuff.
So I have a little faux pas with the last fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like we're talking about middle ages type like pews in this room. They are throwing that shit like it's cardboard. Like those things, those bitches.
It's
what
adrenaline.
What are you doing?
Adrenaline.
No.
I don't know. No, like rewatching it again with the critical eye, I'm like, that shit would be too heavy to be flinging around like that. Like straight up, you see the sheriff like whoa and launch it.
They're
like
flinging it at people,
flinging it at each
but
other.
they are trying to go through it, and it doesn't cut straight through. So
I know. So it was weird. It's like, wait a minute, you can't cut through it, but you can throw that bitch. Like, what is happening?
I thought it was crazy in that scene. He loses his hair, then he gets poured hot wax on his fucking chest. You see his chest all burned up from the hot wax and everything.
He got Freddy Krueger.
That's a bit,
Yeah, so I mean, he got fucked up in that, but and the way that he died,
he should have.
I thought it was really cool when he got stabbed by the sword and he starts crawling over to the window. His death scene, you just see him drooling and everything else, and then I thought that was a good death
There was
scene.
a lot of random drool in this movie as well.
Yeah, there was.
There was.
He's a
not only-
slobbery.
Oh, the guy over the guy's head when he strapped Will Scarlet to the barrel.
Yes, and that, like
There's
piece of
always room
spit
for
that
one
fell
more.
over,
Yeah.
and like
Spits on his face.
why is everybody
so
spitting on everybody?
gross.
They were they
Which-
were overhydrated.
Which I want to bring up a scene. I actually want to bring up a scene that we never talked about the cousin and Alan Rickman. Did you ever feel sorry for the cousin getting stabbed like that?
Fuck that. He was a dick.
But he was crying, and he was just
Gives
like,
a shit.
"I'm sorry."
Pull your
I'm
big
sorry."
boy pants up, man.
I don't know. I kind of felt sorry for the guy.
No, he was a dick. He deserved it.
He
I
wasn't
think it's
good at what he
great
did.
that he got killed by his own cousin instead of Robin. I think that was great.
Oh,
That
okay.
just shows you how crazy
the sheriff was.
The sheriff was, which I loved
Yeah.
because he's okay. So, favorite characters. Yours is Friar Tuck.
Yes.
Okay.
Azim.
Azim.
Yeah, Azim. He's my favorite.
I have to go with the sheriff.
Sheriff is mine.
Yeah.
He's 100% mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the sheriff. And again, one of my favorites is when he's going through, he's caught the merry men prior to hanging them and before releasing Will Scarlet again. And he's like, what do you want? Death or torture?
Yeah.
What do you want? Death or torture? He's like, I want torture. All right. Or I want death or something. All right, torture. What do you want? Death or torture? Torture.
Is
He's
that
like,
in the
torture.
That's got to be the extended cut.
So
'Cause
really?
that's not in the
Yes. Okay, so you see the sheriff. He's caught the merry men again.
Yeah.
And he goes into like Will Scarlet's hanging by his ankles.
That's right.
upside down.
That wasn't the extended cut.
And they have them
Yeah.
lined up, and literally he goes, what do you want to be, death or torture? And he goes, I want death. And he goes, torture. He goes, what do you want, death or torture? And he goes, I want torture. He's like, torture. See, it makes no difference. Like he was so much like more shecky
Yeah.
in the extended that it was freaking funny.
Yeah,
Like,
that was
I
the
really
scene-
think Yen, you would appreciate him more in the extended cut because it is more like funny and quirky and slapsticky to a degree, which I know is why you love Robin Hood Men in Tights so much.
Yeah.
I really think it would give you a deeper appreciation for him.
And that's the
in
scene
that.
also where Will Scarlet basically gives up and said that he's going to try
Oh
and
yeah,
help him.
he turns into a Benedict Arnold or a turncoat, and he's like, "Oh, I can get close to Robin.
I'm one of his men. He trusts me."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, so
And
that's
Wolf-
where the original picture.
Yeah, and Wolf
Yeah.
is like, no, he fucking doesn't.
Yeah, you're a traitor. I loved Wolf. Wolf was another
was
one.
cool.
He was a little cool dude.
Yeah, he was a cool little kid.
Yeah. So my last thing in here is the music and the score, which throughout the whole movie.
Oh
do you
my
want to
God.
talk about the music?
All right, so Michael Kamen, One of my favorite composers. Did so many fucking great scores. Like this is right here is just the main title, and I fucking love this title sequence because it's just very adventurous, swashbuckling, and everything else. But the thing about Michael Kamen is that he actually is one of your favorite movie, Highlander. He did the score to Highlander with Queen. Yes. And another thing is that he's also done Lethal Weapon, Die Hard. He also did Band of Brothers, which is a great miniseries. He just does a great, beautiful... This is actually one of his best scores he's ever done. I have the 4-disc edition of this score, and I listen to it over and over again. I never get sick of it. The training montage, one of my favorite sequences in the whole thing.
Yeah.
But everything about Michael Kamen is great, and he died early, too. He actually may he rest in peace. He's no longer scoring anymore. He's gone. But this is another great sequence when Robin Hood is trying to leave the castle. No, this is actually the sequence when Azim and Robin Hood are trying to leave.
This is when they're fleeing into the
They sound
forest.
the same. They're similar. Yeah, when they're leaving in the forest from Marion's castle and stuff like that. But the next sequence right here, which is coming up, is one of the best and beautiful themes that comes from every what's the song called?
Everything I do about for you.
Yes, from Bryan Adams, I believe.
Yes.
This is a great rendition of the fucking romantic.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's great.
I mean, it's violins. You can't go
This
wrong.
is actually that scene I was talking about that I love so much when they're both on the boats and they're being spread apart and
Well, she's on the boat and he's on the land, and
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
But you see like the mist and the all
you
of
just
that.
see her looking at him inside the fog and
longing.
her just sitting on the boat.
It's
Great, beautiful scene. But the score is great in this movie. It
Yes.
just there's so much to it. I mean, adventure, romance, everything about it is great.
Yeah,
so.
this movie has a bit of everything.
It really does.
I'm so glad I got to do this. I'm so glad you were here for this, because when I found out that I wanted to do this movie, and then when I found out that you had never seen it, I was like, well, I am not doing it without you, because I really wanted to hear your take as a first timer watching this, because I've seen it 100 times.
Well, I appreciate you having me as a guest on this one because I love
You
this
asked
fucking
and
movie.
you received, yes.
Yes, thank you. Oh, I asked?
Yes, you did. Can I be on that
you
one?
inserted yourself. It's fine. You're welcome, you king.
I did. I'm sorry. Hey, I like this movie.
I know.
I was going to do this on my show, and now I don't have to because I did it on your show. So I'm just going to stick it. I'm not going to do it now because I enjoyed actually talking to you ladies about this movie.
Kevin
'cause
Costner's butt.
Yeah,
No.
Kevin Costner butts.
I don't like. Do I really have to say that?
Yes.
But
Kevin Costner butts.
I'm going to give this movie. Oh, God damn, that just sounds fucking weird.
So
We're gonna head into our reviews.
Do you want to give it like ass cheeks? Is that what would that be
Kevin
better for
Costner
you?
ass cheeks? Is
Can
that
I give it Marion's ass?
No, it's hers
Kevin
aren't in
Costner
there.
butts.
Yeah, but Marion has a beautiful ass. Come on,
It's
we
Kevin
she's got
Costner
great
butts.
You
tits,
did
too.
not see her ass in this.
But you see her tits in the abyss.
This
That is not this movie.
Ugh. All right.
All right, so how about we start with you? With how many Kevin Costner butts
Yes,
were you
Ron.
going to give this movie?
How many Kevin
Get over
Costner
yourself
butts?
and just rate it.
Okay. First of all, like I said, thank you very much for having me on this episode. But
Thanks
overall,
for being here, hon.
thank you. This was a very, very fun movie. I grew up watching this movie.
You're cute, by the way. When you're on here, you're so excited. You're super cute.
Sorry.
I just had to put that out there.
I've seen this movie so many times that I've lost count. Like this is a movie I'm never sick of. I actually introduced this movie to my kids about a year ago or something like that. And I remember we didn't have our couch yet because we were getting it delivered. They were sitting on the floor engrossed by the movie, watching it. And
I'm pretty sure that was the original cut. Because
that was the director's cut. We only had the extended.
Totally didn't remember.
Yeah, we
stuff.
only had the extended cut.
All right.
Yeah, but I mean, this movie, like I said, I grew up with. I loved watching it. I remember having it on VHS and watching it over and over and over again, playing with the toys. It was such a great movie. I even thought Waterworld was almost like a sequel to it. Not a sequel, but like filmed in the same way because there's the same directors and stuff like that from Kevin Reynolds.
Be like, a lot
No, this is
happened
better than
in a
Water.
couple of years.
This is better than Waterworld, but Waterworld's still fun. But overall, this movie is just adventure, swashbuckling. I can care less about his accent.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me at all. The characters in this movie are great. Even the unknowns that you've never seen before in other movies.
Yeah.
They do a great job.
Props
Little
up
John,
Fanny.
Fanny, exactly. Alan Rickman. I mean, seriously, this is one of his staple role is Professor Snape, but this is probably one of his best villainous roles next to Die Hard.
Die Hard.
But
Hans Gruber.
I love Azim. I love the score. I adore the fucking score. I listen to it all the time. You can ask her. You can ask Sammy. I always have it on in the background.
He does.
It's just one of my favorite
confirm
scores.
this.
You do.
So And I definitely would recommend anybody to watch this and to give it a chance because, in my opinion, it's one of the best renditions of Robin Hood out there.
100%.
Does anybody else feel like he's drawing this out so he doesn't have
to say Kevin Costner bucks?
I'm going to say it right now.
How many Kevin Costner
I go
bucks?
long on my reviews.
I'm sorry.
sorry.
No. I don't want to rush you. Just
No, actually, I was just about to get to my pie reviews. So if I were to give,
No, Kevin
it's a
Costner
butt
bucks.
review.
all right, so I'm going to give this.
And remember, it's a positive thing.
How
not a
many?
negative.
All
How
right.
many Kevin Costner butts?
I'm working on it.
Kevin,
say it already.
I'll say it. I'll say it. It's fine. I am actually going to give this 4.5 Kevin Costner asses.
Nice job.
I will give this 4.5. This is a definitely like I would for an enjoyment. That's what I'd give this for an enjoyment on our show. And I think this is a great fucking movie. And I'm very glad to see somebody so much excited about this movie as much as I am because I love this movie.
Same.
But yeah, this is definitely a 4.5. Great fucking movie. So whoever's next.
So Crystal, what did you think about the I'm sorry. So
I was
Crystal,
like,
what
I'm
did you
not
think
hosting
about
this one?
I know. I'm a fucking terrible person. So what did you think about the movie?
I enjoyed it.
Let's give it arrows.
Ooh, arrows. So honestly,
Flaming arrows.
The funny thing is, watching this movie, I had so many callbacks to the funny one we recently did.
Tights.
Yep. So something would happen, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's totally this.
Because that was a spoof of this. So yeah.
Yep. So no, it was an amazing movie.
Yay.
I'm gonna definitely give it a solid 4.5 arrows.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Nice.
All directly in the sheriff's chest. Just
Oh, he was such a good bad guy though.
He was so good.
But he's one of my favorite bad guys.
I have to say though, I do like the whole him being the witch's son more than the witch being like wanting to bang the fuck out of him. So seeing that on top of the fact of knowing like in the other one she's like, ooh, I want him bad.
Yeah, definitely was more creepy. Definitely more creepy.
Well, also in the Men in Tights, she was attached to Prince John and not Nottingham. So
yeah, it was like still there's like the
they added a character.
sleeviness.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun. Oh, awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a
Cool.
very, very good movie.
Yay.
Awesome. Yay.
All right.
Okay, I'll go next. So again, I didn't have, as we said, because I saw it when I was younger, I didn't have that initial connection because again, I did like the Disney Robin Hood. That was my favorite Robin Hood. As I've grown, I've appreciated it more and more. Seeing it this time and seeing the director's cut and remembering, like I didn't remember the director's cut, seeing it again, I really, really enjoyed it. And I thought I already loved Alan Rickman in it. And it just really, it brought me back into how much of a phenomenal film it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed rewatching it and prep for the show. And it was, it's got a little bit of everything. It's got romance. It's got, battling. It's got all of the things, the things. It ticks all the boxes. I'm with you. The accent doesn't throw me or make it any less or more enjoyable.
Yeah.
It does. I can understand where Yen is coming from, where it does every now and then hit your ear kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I can definitely see it, especially for somebody first time watching it.
Yeah.
But that said, I am going to give it a solid 3 3/4 Kevin Costner butts.
Okay.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to give it 3 3/4 Kevin Costner butts. I do recommend it. It definitely has rewatch value. It has phenomenal music. It has phenomenal cast. And it is a fun version of Robin Hood.
Yes.
So yes, definitely recommend.
Sweet.
Can I say something real quick?
Mm.
Sean Connery's cameo at the end was great too.
Oh, we didn't even talk about it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everybody, when you see Sean Connery coming out of the fucking off the horse and seeing him come over to Robin Hood and Marion, I was like, that's fucking, because I love Sean Connery. Love Sean Connery so much.
My mom just about had an orgasm watching that shit.
Oh, she had a thing for Sir Sean Connery?
Oh yeah.
She got to meet him.
She got to meet him.
Oh, I remember you telling me that.
She got and she literally on her deathbed, she had the picture of her and him at the golf course where he's holding her up because she was going to pass out. Like he was the love of her life.
Oh, wow.
So any movie that he was in,
Do you ever have that picture?
I do have a copy of it somewhere. I need to find it.
I got to see that.
It's
I got to
cool.
see that. That's
yeah.
fucking awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Sorry for interrupting.
No, it's good.
When did they film the Indiana Jones
1989.
89.
It was filmed
Is
in
it
1988, but it was released in 1989.
That's all with 10 minutes.
Yes, with
Yeah.
Sean Connery.
Yeah,
Last
it was
Crusade.
Henry Jones
Okay.
Jr.
Okay. Yeah.
Or Henry Jones Sr., sorry.
Talking about that, did you know that he ended up donating all of his what he was paid for this film? So it was like $250,000 for him to be there for like 2 lines.
Yeah. What did he donate it to?
I don't remember what he donated. Charity.
That's awesome.
But I
That's
don't
really
remember
cool.
He
what
was paid
charity.
$250,000
Yeah,
to be in this movie.
Yeah,
For a
For
cameo.
30 seconds.
yeah, it was like between that. It was between 150,000 or 250,000. I can't remember
That's
exactly.
gangster. I mean,
But,
seriously, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I mean,
donating the rest of charity.
if he donated that, see, I fucking love him. Sean Connery's awesome. I love anything that he's at. Yeah,
Loved.
seriously.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he died too soon.
He was old as shit. He's
He
like
was in
90
his,
something.
like,
He was.
Yeah.
No, I think
he
he was-
definitely lived a great
He was like in his
life.
upper 80s, if not early 90s.
Yeah.
But he's just
He had a
somebody-
really good run.
He's
Yeah.
just somebody you can't get enough of.
No.
Honestly.
That- that
you
I
want
agree.
them to live forever.
Well, he
I'm
retired
gonna
from acting.
mourn it when Harrison Ford passed.
Another reason why I love Highlander. Because
Well,
they do live forever.
the thing about Sir Sean
We'll all
Connery
mourn.
is that he retired from acting because of his last movie. It was so bad. and-
Entrapment.
No. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Entrapment.
I watched
I thought
that
it was
multiple times.
Entrapment
I
that
liked
closed
it.
him down.
No, it was League of an Extraordinary Gentleman.
I
was,
love that movie. I thought it was
I didn't
fun.
think it was
I think
that
it was
bad.
fun too.
Yeah.
Stu even claims how much that movie is fun, but he hated
didn't
it.
get
He said that the director made it hell for him, and he was like, "I'm done with acting," and he retired right then and there. And he
But
stopped
you know
acting.
what? Retire on a high. I mean, instead of just like
I
sticking it
wish,
out
yeah,
and
but I
going
wish
sharp.
that wasn't his swan song. I wish he did something a little bit different than that one. But I still think it's a fun movie. Like I love First Night with Richard
Gear.
Richard Gere.
The
I
weird,
always
the
say
weird
Gere.
kisser.
Yeah, First Night.
Julia
I
Armand as Guinevere. She's beautiful.
I know you said you have a pretty good. You love Julia Armand.
I think she's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was great in Legends of the Fall.
Is
Yeah.
she the one that's in Sabrina?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm just making sure I have
She was
the right.
also
Harrison
in-
Ford? Yes.
Yes. That's a good movie.
Yes.
All right. So Yen, how many Kevin Costner butts?
I'll give it 3.5 Costner butts.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a solid
Yeah,
amount of
first
butts.
I'm not sure if I'm not a great rewatcher of movies. I don't usually just go back and start watching things. I will say the only thing that recently I've decided to go back and start rewatching Iron Man and the Avengers. And I usually don't rewatch movies very often.
Yeah, but
at all.
you're a Marvel girl.
I am. Well, I happened to be on an airplane, and that was what was on.
Gotcha.
It was Iron Man 3, and so I was like watching that, and I was like, oh, now I want to watch what's after that. And so got into Avengers. So no, it was an enjoyable movie, especially for it being filmed back in 1990s. Because I found that some of the movies that I've watched from that time area are okay. They're
A
not
little
as
cheesy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But hey,
Bit campy.
Yeah, but this was fun. It was fun. I did feel like because it's like I said earlier, it's 2 hours and 23 minutes long. At least the
non-director.
the cut one, and I did find myself just kind of like not paying full attention to it the whole time because it's like either a
felt like it was a
non-talky
bit long.
version, and I was going dishes. I was just honestly, and I was trying to stay awake because it was late at night. So yeah, it's 3.5 Costner butts.
All right.
No, but it was. I will say it was so. I'm glad I watched it, and thank you for making me watch it. I don't know if I would have watched it.
without the
unless
show.
you wanted me to.
Yeah.
Would you watch it again though?
Probably not.
This is the one and done.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm
She's not a
I'm not
rewatcher.
one to go back and rewatch a lot of movies unless it's for a cause, such as like the show.
Gotcha.
I just
Unless it's Henry Cavill, you'll probably watch that over and over again.
I have watched The Witcher multiple times.
Yeah.
Well, it's him.
Yeah.
That's her escapism.
But no, I'm so glad I watched this because now I can see this and see Robin Hood Men in Tights and see
You
the
appreciate
similarities.
Robin
I was gonna say you can appreciate
a little bit
it
more.
Yeah.
You can see the whole little spoofs here and there and stuff like that.
Yes. So thank you so much.
Yay! I'm so glad.
And what about you, Snow?
Well, thank you guys for doing this one with me. This one is a labor of love. I love this movie very much. I've loved it forever.
Well, you did a phenomenal job.
Yes.
With bringing it and prepping for it.
Thank you.
And definitely you can tell that you love this movie.
I'm impassioned.
You are.
It's the whole thing, the theme, the music, the Bryan Adams, the the casting. I really love the casting in this movie, even like from the smallest part to the bigger parts. It's really, really wonderfully done. Everybody really pulls their weight. You know, while it may not be a perfect movie, I absolutely adore this movie. And I will watch it over and over again. After I watched it, I really wanted to watch it over again, but I just ran out of time. But I'm definitely going to watch it again. Like,
well, so am I, to find out that toot situation.
Well, we'll do that right in a few minutes.
I need to know.
Yes,
so this is burning information.
But yeah, I adore this movie. I give it a solid 4.5 Costner butts.
Wow, that's a lot of booty.
I think simply I have to give it something so high because I will watch it over and over again, and I just the accent thing never ever bothered me one bit. This is my Robin Hood, like. There's been many. This one's mine. Like he is, you know, everybody has their Batman. This is my Robin Hood.
Nice.
So I highly recommend this movie. I think it's really fun. It's got a little bit of everything. The funny stuff is really funny. Alan Rickman is a genius.
Yes.
And the fact that he, you know, basically made this role what it is.
Yeah.
And he's not just reading the lines. He helped make the lines and created this character to be as iconic as it was. And he's just the most amazing villain.
Yeah.
But yes, I love this movie. And thank you so much for taking this little journey with me.
No, thanks for taking us on it.
Yay.
It was a lot of fun.
And it was really fun being a part of you guys, your ladies'
Ron.
show. Seriously.
Thank you for being on our show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll have you back on for Blade Runner as a guest.
That's one of my favorites.
I know. You're
movie.
super excited.
It's never seen it.
I
It's gonna
know.
be a first watch
it's
for
gonna
me.
be good.
I don't think you're gonna like it.
It's Harrison Ford.
It's gonna be
It is, but it's a very slow. It's a little bit of a slow burn, but it's good.
I'm not doing the new one. It will only be the original Blade Runner.
Oh, you're talking about 2049?
Yeah,
No,
I'm
that's
doing-
fine.
yeah.
The original one, especially the final cut.
Yes.
I mean, there's 4 cuts of that movie.
You only have to watch one of them.
Watch the final cut. The final cut's the best cut.
I will watch whichever one is available on the streaming.
Yeah.
Please do. So yes, but no, Ron, thank you for being on the show. It was
Yes.
fun having you.
No, I loved it. Thank you. This was
Thanks,
fun.
Best.
Thank you, Best. Appreciate it.
All right, and on that note, oh, are you kidding me? What? You
That's how we're
tripped
closing it.
at the fucking finish line, babe.
Wow.
Hand him
you
that.
did.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
I really hate your name.
Where is it?
That's kind of mean.
No, yeah.
I think you love it because you say it all the time. Fuck me right.
No, I love your name.
Yeah,
I
so
just-
much that it keeps
Yen
coming out of your
always
mouth.
gets me.
Keeps coming out of your mouth.
It's okay. I didn't notice it.
All right.
You were sleeping.
Ending with a bang.
Yeah, you're sleepy.
I'm so tired.
It's all right. After this, we're done.
Crystal picks.
Oh, she's
unavailable.
All right,
so
then reroll.
again.
Spin again.
Oh, it's like it's only 10:39.
No,
Yeah,
but
but
she's
she's probably in a
doing
movie.
family stuff.
Yeah, she's into movies.
Yeah.
Self-destruct.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No,
fucking spin
that's
again.
not okay.
Spin again.
I gotta drive an hour.
No.
I have to drive
No,
too. No.
Nope, we're not
Do
ending on
better.
that. Nope, spin again.
Really?
Okay,
Welcome
you know what?
to our
Fine.
show.
Barrel of Punishment.
Yeah.
Here, I'll spin it one more time, see what it lands on, and then I'll do a
Yeah,
barrel
no,
punishment.
I'm sorry. That got nixed real quick. We're
Yeah,
like, we're
I
not
have to
doing
drive. She has to drive.
And I'm
Self-destruct.
No,
Oh my
barrel of
gosh,
punishment.
seriously.
Yep.
Sorry.
I'm believing that wheel is weighted now.
I will gladly do one later. Not
No.
today, not now.
Nope, not now.
Oh, it's cream.
Ew. Why is it?
Key lime rum cream?
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
That's the Blue Chair Bay from Kenny Chesney.
Oh, I've had that.
Yeah.
I love their blue chair.
Blue Chair rum is amazing.
The banana. Have you tried the banana cream?
I don't like the creamy rums,
Oh,
but I
okay.
love Blue Chair Bay.
I definitely never tried. I never drank that when I drank.
It smelled bad.
Well,
Can I
it's
sniff
got
it?
dairy in it, so it probably wouldn't be a good idea. No.
It does smell kind of like a key lime pie.
Yeah.
There's a
That's weird.
banana. There's a
All right, well.
pineapple. I
Cheers.
think.
Thanks
All
for
right.
joining us.
Cheers
Why
to
don't we play us
BAC.
out?
Cheers
And here I go.
to yen.
How was it?
It's like drinking a key lime pie.
All right.
Which-
There we go. So you ended
Not
on
bad.
So you
All
ended
right.
on a high note.
Ended on a high note.
All right.
Yay.
Thank you,
Thanks,
listeners.
Kevin Costner's
Thank you very
butt.
much.
Please follow us on the Instagram at Barrel Age Chicks. Send us FMK ideas. Send us movie requests. We love to hear from you. Thank you. Please give us a follow. Please give us some feedback on any of our platforms.
Yep.
And thank you for joining us. And we're out.
Bye, guys.
The party's leaving. Hi, Hi, this is Snow. Thanks for listening to our podcast, Barrel Aged Chicks. It's 2023 and the chicks are here. We are so excited to share our future episodes of Barrel Aged Chicks, FMK, and Slasher Gal Pals. We hope you are enjoying our shenanigans as much as we do. Give us a follow on Instagram at Barrel Aged Chicks. If you'd like the gals to do a fan request, contact us on Instagram and we will give you a personal shout out on the show. Our podcast is available on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Google, iHeartRadio, and Good Pods. Swag available through the link on Instagram. Please check it out and thank you for your support. Special thanks to Carl Casey at White Bat Audio for his kick-ass music. He is amazing. Also, please grab a listen to the guys at Barrel Age Flicks Podcast. If you like booze, hilarity, and movies, check them out. Also, check out our network and other amazing podcasts at deluxeeditionnetwork.com. Bye till next time, and thanks for listening to our show. The party's leaving!